The Internet, the final frontier. These are the voices of the podcast Nerd Effect. Its continuing mission to explore nerdy, fascinating topics, to seek out fun things and be nostalgic, to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. Welcome out to the Nerd Effect Podcast, episode number 14. Gentlemen, ladies, we are gathered here today after an epic intro, which you all heard prior to this recording.
Yes.
It's pretty epic.
To talk about Star Trek. But before we get to that, let's introduce ourselves, shall we?
Unlike last week, where somebody...
Yeah, I kind of got to
I
have
take
myself
my eyes
last
off you guys for 2 seconds and see what happens.
So see, as you can tell, we got Nikki back this week.
Whoop, whoop. My puppy's okay.
Yay! Much puppy rejoicing.
Yay!
I am one of your Starfleet hosts this week, Dustin, Captain Dustin James T. Vancouver. My middle name is James, but Dustin Vancouver. I am joined by my crewman,
Michael Redshirt Morgan.
and
Mason, Science Officer, Ireland.
and
I'm trying to think of something awesome. I'm just down in engineering, I guess. I'm Nikki Prindle. That's my... I don't...
Chief Engineer Prindle.
Chief Engineer.
Chief Engineer Prindle. What?
Epic.
You hang out with Geordie LaForge and Scotty.
I
say
really
Scotty.
like Geordie.
It's worse
No,
than that.
Geordie
He's dead,
LaForge. I was also in the Reading Rainbow generation, so I appreciate him from 2.
Well, okay, but Reading Rainbow was awesome.
but
straight up.
B'Elanna? I mean, come on.
Engineering's got all the best people.
Yeah.
And warp core breaches.
Scotty.
Got those too.
Okay.
I don't know if the
Warp
warp core
core
breaches are a good thing, though. Last
No,
I
but they're
checked, they
exciting.
weren't.
They always fix it with something random that they pull out of their asses. It's okay.
That's like
Yeah.
That's
everybody.
why we like the show.
I'm pretty sure MacGyver wrote their manual.
The show's going to be so epic. We're starting our introductions. We're already derailing it.
Hey, we're still talking about Star
No,
Trek.
that was a really on the rails derail. We just hopped to different rails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big rail, yeah. Okay.
That's what she said.
Hey!
Off the bat, even.
Ooh,
You're welcome.
I love
I'm
it.
done. I'm just gonna sit back for the rest of this now.
She found her in and took it. Also, what she said.
Oh, you beat me to it. I'm sitting back too far.
All right. Well, before we get to the Star Trekking, let's do some. Well, I'd say emails first, but nobody loves us.
That's okay. I love myself.
Oh God,
Often
that's what he
nightly.
said. Oh,
Oh.
what?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
done
monkeys.
with
Oh.
those now. That was
Don't
a
start it.
disturbing
Keep
glimpse into
going.
your nightlife,
Okay.
Mike.
Just trust Mason on this. Keep going.
Okay. So, do we want to start with... Who do you want to start with? Me? You start with me? Or...
Do it.
Start with me. All right.
Yes. I'm last on the news this time.
Yes, I
You're
figured
the
that
captain.
much.
Do it.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Score. All right. Recently, in the last week or so, Twitter has become officially a publicly traded business with the New York Stock Exchange symbol of TWTR. Handy.
Yeah.
They came in starting at $26 a share, which is pretty cheap in my opinion. I think by the end of the day they got it clear up to $46 a share.
Yeah, it was 45 and change.
It was like it was pretty it doubled in price pretty much by the end of the day. So not too shabby at all.
That explains why I'm getting more sponsored ads.
Oh.
I don't know about that, but I don't even see Twitter. I'm on Twitter on. I would say at least once a day, maybe.
I tweet out if I have to enter to win something. That's about all I ever do.
I like to tweet out just to see if I get celebrities to respond to me. Like I've had Kevin Smith favorite a few tweets of mine before.
I did get the host of the Paranormal podcast up in Canada to tweet back at me, and that kind of made my day.
Shout out to the Paranormal podcast.
What?
Woo, woo. So yeah, Twitter. I mean, Twitter's obviously like probably the second largest social network next to Facebook. So
Probably.
it was bound to probably hit this sort of climax, if you say, at some point. It's also topical because Sir Patrick Stewart was there to ring the opening bell for it.
Love that man.
So he was like, engage.
Did he really say engage?
I don't know. I really wish. I hope
Probably
he did.
I hope he did.
We have
I'm
to
going to
find
pretend he
footage
did,
of
even
this.
if he did.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here.
Make
And
it
that's May Twitter become number one.
Aw.
I don't know.
No.
That was horrible.
Tea, Earl Grey, trade. That was worse.
Oh, let's see. Basically, I guess it's been rumored that they were going to go public about 2 years ago, and it's just finally come to fruition. What this means for Twitter, I don't know. Chances are there's going to be a lot of people breathing down their necks now to do stuff. So I would be prepared for probably some minor to heavy changes to their network. You'll probably, like Mason said earlier, I don't know if you said it on mic or off mic, but
I'm pretty sure I said it on the mic. It was just a moment ago.
I wasn't sure. My brain wasn't registering.
Oh God, it's already happening.
But you're probably going to see some shared advertising, and
more stuff to
like
generate revenue.
Yeah, they're going to try and do things to raise money, I'm sure. So
Maybe gasp, they'll increase the number of characters you can use.
That would
I doubt it because that would take away their identity.
Yeah, not 140.
All right,
If you want to tweet, use Twit longer. That's pretty much the only way you can do it.
Sounds horrible.
It does sound longer.
Which
My
pretty
mind
much
is
says
just-
it all. All right.
But anyway, Twitter. Welcome to the publicly traded platform where now everybody will hate you. Anyway, should we move on?
Yes.
Let's go around the table. Mike.
Okay. So I basically had a story about Xbox One. So out of the box, you can't use it. You have to use the day one software update in order to be able to use the Xbox at all. So even the applications that come preloaded on the Xbox One, you will not be able to use until it goes through the day one update.
Do they just not want people to buy their shit?
Apparently. Yeah. It's been stated that it's unconfirmed as to whether or not you'll be able to put a game disc in it and play it without having to hook it up and get it all updated. But at this point, it doesn't look like it is. So you will have to have it connected to the internet to update it to get the day one update.
Really
That's
stupid.
It should work out of the box. That is one of the things. Like, as much as I love the internet, that is one of the things where the connectivity of the internet has really ruined a lot of, especially consumer electronics and video games. Is that they're like, oh, well, we'll just get it out the door when we said we're going to get it out the door, and we'll patch it later. No, make it work first. You know, that's one of the things I appreciate, about CD Projekt Red and Blizzard, is that. Love it or hate it as far as Warcraft or Diablo 3 goes. I am in the camp where I enjoyed Diablo 3. Because I didn't care about the PvP and I didn't care about the for real money trading. But Blizzard and CD Projekt Red don't release broken games. They make sure their games are finished and to a completely playable state and then release them. And the caveat is with World of Warcraft, it's a big, massive MMO. It's impossible to find all the bugs in it. So, yeah, sometimes there have been bugs in World of Warcraft, but they've always caught them and fixed them as quickly as they could. And I think companies need to get back to that because, Microsoft releasing the Xbox One with a day one update, a lot of, EA is, getting to the point where it's almost like they just believe in the philosophy of ship the game and we'll fix it later. And they shouldn't be doing this. The games shouldn't be shipping in these kind of conditions. They should be completed, ready-to-go products out the door.
I think what scares me though is that I've gotten used to the fact that systems are going to have updates, even at day one. But day one is kind of scary because server downloads day one.
Yeah.
Christmas Day is just gonna suck.
Christmas Day and release day are going to be
suck.
painful.
Yeah.
Painful for people to try and even get that patch downloaded, just because people are going to be trying their damnedest.
Can you imagine though being being a kid? You get your Xbox One for Christmas.
Yay!
Can you? I mean, I used to get frustrated having to put shit together, like those assemble it yourself toys. Can you imagine? Oh, sorry, Junior, you can't play your video games yet. You gotta download the update. Can you imagine explaining that to a 7-year-old who's hopped up on candy canes and hot cocoa? Like, that is not gonna work out.
No,
I would just not buy that for my child. Is what would happen.
And
if I had a child.
God's forbid they're at grandma's house who doesn't have Wi-Fi.
Oh dear. God,
Jesus!
yeah. Can you imagine?
I was gonna say, usually I remember back in my day, it was the video games that you opened last. You know, you saved the good stuff for last. Give this to your kid first. Download the update
while they're opening their other presents.
they're opening the rest of their presents.
Make sure you get them lots of other presents, just in case the connection speed isn't that good, because everyone else is doing the same thing.
And then pretend like you didn't get them many games for the rest of the show or the rest of the Christmas.
Right around dinner time.
And then, oh, look at that! There's the new
Santa stopped by late.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then you have the other obvious choice, which is get a PS4.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a really good choice.
Yeah, and I can't remember who did it now. I think it was Kotaku. Yeah, it was Kotaku. They did a spec sheet of everything that is known between the PS4 and the Xbox One. There is exactly one category where the Xbox does better than the PS4. And that is you can have up to 8 controllers attached to a single Xbox One. Of course, the problem with that is what games nowadays allow you to play with more than maybe 2 people in the same household at the same time on the same system. You know, because it's all about, go get your own box, and get onto the network. You know, even if you're in the same room with a lot of games. It's like fighting games, racing games. That's about it. So...
Fighting game with 8 people would be insane.
Dun, dun, dun,
How would you do that?
Smash Brothers with 8 people playing simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
That would be freaking awesome.
I'm picturing like Mario Kart though, with
my
the screen
character.
broken up. Can you imagine that with 8 people? Like you'd have to have a
Well,
TV.
with a modern, relatively large widescreen TV, you could do that without much of a problem. It's just like shit. Which one am I?
Yeah, I had the problems remembering that when I would play my brother.
No
like,
screen looking.
That would be impossible.
don't they have glasses now where you can't see the other person's screen?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
requires basically a 3D TV to do
Yeah.
Well, you have to have Sony specifically had built a dual screen TV that
I think it's a great idea because
the
my brother
glasses
cheated.
layered it so one glasses would see one part of the screen, the other glasses would see the other half of the screen. It cut your resolution in half, but I mean you could.
Yeah, but it was like a 30-inch.
But you got a
TV.
full. Yeah, it was a 40-inch
or 40-inch.
I think. Maybe 37-inch. I can't remember. But
it's still a 720 at 720p. You're still doing okay.
yeah.
So
yeah, it was still pretty good.
It's a good concept.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't. The thing is, I heard about it and then it just disappeared.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the actual.
Well, probably because it was so specialized, it just didn't do that well.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a hyper specialized product.
There's only a few games where it really makes a super huge difference.
Yeah.
And the game they had demoed was Motorstorm, which was kind of cool. It was a racing game.
Yeah, but that doesn't make that much of a difference.
Can't
Yeah,
you
I could
usually see where the other cars are up on the
Yeah, I
map
was like
on the
split
screen
screening a
anyway.
racing games is one thing, but split screening a shooter like GoldenEye, which was the one that screen looking was utterly famous on.
Yep.
That's different.
Oh god, that was the best game.
Totally awesome.
A little side story for you. So Mason kind of reminded me of this one. They just had BlizzCon.
Oh, they did do BlizzCon this year?
Yep.
Okay.
So that just ended. They announced the next World of Warcraft expansion.
They're still going.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, they've got 5 levels.
So yeah,
People are still
9200.
spending money.
What is it?
It's going to be level 9200. It's Warlords of Durotar.
Oh,
So they're going back in time to Outland.
back in time to Outlands. Okay.
Yeah, so we're going before the whole big disaster thing in Outlands that caused all the wreckage, and so we get to see that, where that big ass temple was. It had the 4 dungeons. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
and Shadow Moon Valley and all those. Yeah, so it's going to be all that stuff. And the Warlords out. They're.
Can I share my World of Warcraft experience with you? I downloaded the demo, the free demo, the day before I met my girlfriend, and then I never touched it.
Good call.
Yeah.
But so far, everything I've seen on it, not impressed.
Yeah.
Not planning on getting it.
Did they
Not
announce
planning
what
on
Project
playing
Titan is yet?
I don't think so. They had it's going to be a free-to-play online fighter game that's going to kind of cross-platform all of their franchises. So you're going to have like Diablo and
So it's going to be
Warcraft and
it's basically going to be a MOBA. probably,
StarCraft
from the
stuff,
sound
all
of it.
fighting each other. Yeah,
Is it going to be a MOBA or like a 2 or 3D fighter?
looks like a 2D, 3D fighter thing.
Okay, and I know that they have Hearthstone coming out, but I don't think either of those are Project Titan.
No,
So-
so I think Project Titan's still unannounced.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just something that I saw, and yeah, it saddens me. I'm sorry, I'm geeking. Go ahead.
No, it's...
Who's next?
Nikki.
Wait, did Mason go?
No,
He's going last.
Oh, okay.
We had
I didn't-
predetermined that.
Oh, I might have been looking at the puppy up on the screen when that happened.
you might have been actually. Yes.
There was a really cute screensaver with a puppy carrying a leaf bigger than its head, and I got distracted.
Again, for those of you first tuning in, this is we record this show at the office that Nikki and I happen to work at. So, in our conference room, there's a giant 70-inch screen TV.
The wallpaper changes frequently.
And the wallpaper
yeah.
changes frequently on it because it's Windows 7 and it does that. And there was a big puppy holding a leaf in its mouth.
It
on
was
the screen,
adorable.
And Nikki went, "Aw," and
I did.
then lost her brain.
I did. It's true.
It was
Fuzzy
really
things.
amusing how we were in the middle of her saying something, and all of a sudden, oh, puppy.
I am ADD. You should know this by now. I can't help it.
like
It's not
perfect
shiny things for me.
ADD.
It's fuzzy things. Look, a critter. Anyways.
Squirrel.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yes, tell us your story, Nikki.
So, if you didn't hear, Netflix and Disney, or Marvel, signed a deal, and they're going to make a TV show, and it's going to be The Defenders, and they're going to have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage. And it sounds completely awesome. I'm not particularly fond of any of those characters. I just really like the things that Netflix does when they make their own series, and I'm really excited about this because we need a good superhero show.
Am I the only one here who has heard of Daredevil and none of the others?
No, that's me too.
Same
I've heard
here.
of Luke Cage, but I don't remember where. So,
Weird.
I also know of Iron Fist, but
yeah. But apparently they team up and they're taking on the gritty, or they're going into the gritty world of heroes and villains in Hell's Kitchen, New York. And I'm not super excited about the characters they have, but just the fact that Netflix is making a TV show. That is
Okay,
superheroes.
so Hell's
It's gonna be awesome.
Kitchen, Iron Fist. I'm making connections here.
Is it going to be a cooking show?
Well, I'm thinking Iron
Superhero
I'm
cooking
hearing
show?
Iron Chef
That would
here,
be
but
so cool. Can I just tangent real fast and say Master Chef Junior ended this week, and I'm super excited that Alexander won. 13-year-old.
Iron
little
Chef
kid.
Marvel Edition or something.
That would be so cool. I would
Wolverine cutting
love
shit
that.
with his claws. And
He could dice herbs like nobody's business.
Berserker
Snick.
and could you imagine the recipes Deadpool would come up with?
Oh.
Oh man, he would break
He'd hold
that
up-
fourth wall like nobody's business, and just yeah.
He'd hold up raw meat and go, "Look, it looks
He'd
like
be
my
like,
face."
"Does this look done to you?" and hold it up to the camera. And yeah, it'd be awesome. Yeah, we should call them and say, "Hey, here's the thing. Scratch what you're doing."
Gordon Ramsay's like an evil genius.
He would be a good villain in a superhero.
Alton
cooking
Brown
show.
would be like Professor X.
He would. He would assemble the best team and then explain to you why things are happening scientifically. Oh, that would be great. And he's a giant nerd. He'd do it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think he'd think about it. He would just be like, "Yes,
Like, so we're gonna do a superhero cooking show.
yes." Hi,
You
this
don't even
is
know what
Marvel.
you're gonna do. I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
I don't care. Just put me on it.
Can I wear a bow tie?
Iron Chef America is about as superhero-ish as you can get.
It's a really cool show too.
Right, the main guy's like the chairman, right?
Yeah.
I'm
He
imagining
was-
Magneto.
The chairman was in the Jungle Book. Anybody else notice that?
He was in
Wasn't-
Jungle
wasn't that
Book.
the guy-
He was
yeah,
in.
he was in-
No, that was the guy
No.
from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But no,
Mortal Kombat.
he was Jimmy Lee in Double Dragon.
I saw the guy from Jungle Book
and
in
he
something
was-
the other day. I don't remember what it was now.
Mortal Kombat.
Yes. No. But yes. Mortal Kombat.
That's all I hear.
Do, 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 do. Can you imagine cooking with that going on? Do, 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 do. They could do like a Marvel Mortal Kombat cook show.
Marvel Kombat.
Whoa! You really need to set up that PayPal account. TV executives, I
We're
hope
giving
you're
you
listening.
gold, people.
Write this down. Anyways, that was my news story.
Marvel,
Not as
Netflix.
exciting as what we went with, but
Awesomeness.
still exciting.
I can't. Again, I'll bring this up because we did this last time, but TV is doing some really cool shit right now because not all TV is broadcast anymore. So when you got people like Hulu, Amazon, and Netflix all doing exclusive shows that are just intended for them, that makes for good stuff.
they're all so well done too.
Oh man, like Misfits on Hulu was a good one. Amazon bought the exclusive rights to Downton Abbey, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that. Have you seen The
so-
Awesomes? It's on Hulu. It's a cartoon. It's a bunch of
Oh,
guys
it's
from
on-
SNL. It's
Yeah.
pretty great.
I haven't seen it.
It's
but
really
it's-
funny. It's like it's a superhero show, but they're really bad at being superheroes. It's great.
Well, something else I've noticed. Part of it too. I mean, regular broadcast TV. It's not a direct dollar coming in. It's advertising dollars. Direct that get kind of put alongside the shows, and it's kind of whatever shows get the best ratings, or kind of the ones that everybody
Yeah,
goes
they're
for.
way more ratings driven.
Now you got subscription services where people are paying money to be able to watch this stuff, and so it's a lot more direct competition.
Well, and no matter whether or not they like the show that you're putting out, they're still paying the same amount. So it's not like you're going to lose money if your show flops.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I think it's brilliant and more of this. And yay, superhero show. Now we got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow, which I still haven't watched.
I'm kind of curious of whether or not they're going to release these one episode at a time, or if they're just going to do like they did with a couple other shows and just be like, here's 13 shows.
Oh, God, they're just going to take a crap on your screen?
Well, that's kind of what they did with, oh man, what was the extended show they did that went off the air after like 6 years and then came back?
Arrested Development.
yeah,
Arrested Development. That's they came back and said, here's like 12 new episodes, just plastered them right into.
I know people that just lost their minds over that.
Oh,
I've never watched it, but I know people that
I know,
just
same here.
flipped out.
But instead of doing it weekly,
I think they should just dump them because that's the way. More and more, that's the way people are watching shows. Is
Binge watching.
They binge watch. They save up a show till its season is done, and then watch the whole thing.
That's what we're doing with The Walking Dead at this point because we don't have cable anymore. So
Right.
we're just going to watch
well,
it
I've pretty
all
much
once.
watched Doctor Who as if it's been one long friggin' movie. You
Yeah.
know, at this point, I have never seen a episode of Doctor Who with commercials.
I watched it all in the reboot. I watched it all in like a month, and then rewatched it with Ange.
I take that back.
Right.
I saw the Snowmen with commercials because we had to watch it streaming. That was
Yeah, that's right. Amazon does do. We watched the last season with commercials then.
Right. But yeah, but like pretty much most of the time, people are watching everything in chunks now. So I don't think it would be, especially being Netflix or Amazon or Hulu doing a show like that. I think they should just release it all at once. Because that's the way a lot of their audience watches shows, is just as a binge. So, yeah, I don't think they should bother with like a weekly release schedule or anything like that.
The concern that I've heard brought up a lot about the streaming exclusive shows is that people aren't talking about it around the water cooler. But I found that when somebody can watch a show all the way through and they have to wait for their friends to catch up, they get more excited about it because they're like, "Oh my God, hurry up!"
I want to talk about it.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm ahead of you guys in Supernatural, and I really want you to see the things that I've seen
Yeah.
because
How
they're
far are you in
amazing.
Supernatural?
We're almost done with season 6.
I thought I was ahead of you.
No, I started watching way before you did.
We're about 4 episodes into season 5.
Hurry, watch faster. It gets awesome.
I heard 4 and 5 are the best episodes.
I
Or
don't
4 and 5 are
know.
the best seasons. I mean,
season 6 got some gems. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
And Derailed.
Yes.
Number
Talking
like
shows.
5 or 6.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's all right. Netflix, awesome. Marvel, Mason.
Yes.
Tell us about why paleo eating is completely
This is my fault.
erroneous.
Yeah, a little backstory here. This isn't really a news story. Earlier this week, Nikki had a post on Facebook thinking about going on the paleo diet. And
Not because it's trendy, because I'm already cutting out carbs and sugar, and I thought it might just be good to go all out.
And I chimed in on about how the paleo diet, the way they have it set up, isn't actually a paleo diet. And so it was requested that I actually explain a little bit more about this. So anyway, here we go. Okay, to start off with, this is my understanding of the paleo diet. It is a high protein, low sugar, low fat diet, basically, like a lot of the very trendy diets are nowadays. However, this idea of early anatomically modern humans and Neanderthals eating only meat or to a very high degree meat is not in and of itself true. First of all, there's some physiological things that very obviously show that humans were not built to eat a diet a mono diet, essentially. So a diet that consisted of one type of food. Mm-hmm. To start off with, our dentition, our teeth. We have what is called generalist dentition. We have our molars are big, but not overly large. They still have cusp ridges, so they can grind, like we need to be able to grind for plant and vegetation, vegetables and fruits, and grains. But they're also sharp enough that they can still tear meat fibers. We have canines, but we don't have the specialist tearing teeth that makes a true carnivore better at eating meat.
But they're good for vampiring.
Yes, but they're good for vampiring.
If they're a little longer.
Yeah.
And don't sparkle.
And don't sparkle.
No sparkle.
No sparkles. And also we have the incisors, and our incisor shape allows us to cut through both vegetation and meat. Our mouths are designed, and our teeth specifically are designed to eat multiple types of food. We are supposed to eat multiple types of food. And also, with the actual way Paleolithic diets would have worked is that there would have been no agricultural food. Everything would have been in its basically natural, the way it developed in the wild state. A lot of foods that we currently eat, we could not, because they would have been poisonous. A big example of that is the tomato, which is part of the nightshade family. Wild tomatoes, which are actually really, really hard to find nowadays, are poisonous. You cannot eat them. They will kill you. Just like any other member of the nightshade family.
Sounds delicious.
Make a nice caprese.
That's caprese salad.
It's not paleo.
I do like my mozzarella with a side of death.
Yeah.
Tastes like painful, painful dying.
Yeah.
Nightshade pizza.
Yes. So, but our modern tomato has had those poisonous components bred out of it. Like looking at some of the paleo sites and the diet they were showing was large amounts of meat and then some vegetables on the side. Well, here was one of the problems. All of the vegetables they showed cannot exist without agriculture. They show broccoli. Well, broccoli, the little green parts on the end, which most people associate with being the broccoli, not the stalk, but the little green parts, are actually the flowers of the plant. It was bred to make multiple flowers. In fact, you can try this experiment at home, boys and girls. Go get a stalk of broccoli, clip the end off so it can start absorbing water again, stick it in a vase. It will bloom.
Or just leave it in your crisper drawer for too long. It kind of happens eventually.
I had an onion bloom on me the other day. It started growing out the long...
What did?
An onion.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can plant that. You can also plant
We
the
have
N.
wild onion growing in our backyard somewhere
Yum.
because every time we mow over the lawn, we're like, what the fuck is that smell? And then
It's
we
onion.
found out that it was onion next to the tree.
And then in that same plant, the plant that is broccoli, is also cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, cabbage, and asparagus.
Kale's the same as broccoli? I didn't know that.
Yes, those are all the same plant, bred for different characteristics by humans.
I love them all.
Kale goes great in a smoothie.
You just ruled out paleo for me with that statement that I could not eat those things.
Well, I apologize.
Ooh.
Somebody didn't put their phone on silent.
Somebody named
Dustin.
Wah, wah.
Podcast shaming.
However, it did.
I thought somebody got a bonus life.
My text message is the dying sound from Mario. So
my email on my work computer is the Legend of Zelda get sound.
Let's see. Lettuce. You know, that stuff you put in most salads. Yeah.
I ate some for dinner.
Highly bitter to the point of being inedible by most humans in its natural form. So there's a much longer. Oh, apricots and almonds are the same tree before we started messing with them.
Like apricot pits or
Almonds are apricot pits.
what?
They're bred to use the meat of the seed, which is the pit, instead of the meat of the fruit.
That's why they're delicious together.
Yeah. And the apricot is the opposite way. We bred it to get more meat of the fruit instead of meat of the seed.
That's awesome.
It's like banging your cousin. I'm kidding.
I wouldn't know about that. How are you and Jake doing, by the way?
He hasn't been on the show for a while.
Oh! That's what she said.
I kid.
Oh, hi Jake.
But anyway, so our in a modern setting, you cannot actually eat a Paleolithic diet because simply the plants we would have eaten, the ones we liked, we changed into being more human friendly.
More awesome.
Two, and this is also a major point, there was no one Paleolithic diet. What happened was humans ate whatever they could wherever they were living. So, for example, in the Amazon, they eat a lot of plant material, and they also eat a lot of fish and lizards and monkeys.
Geico.
Yay, monkeys.
You know, and this depends on the specific tribe, what they eat, what they consider to be food. And, you know, most tribes don't actually use all of their environment. They will miss things that are food, you know, are edible, but they don't consider them to be food. In the Arctic regions, the Inuit peoples and the Siberian peoples, they eat almost exclusively meat because they don't have a choice. There's very little vegetation.
Can't they get isn't there protein starvation? Isn't that a thing that you can get if you do that?
Kind of.
Yeah.
But here's the trick. They eat a lot of things like seal blubber.
Oh.
Seal blubber is loaded with, like, for example, vitamin C, which humans cannot create on our own, but we still need to live. So we need to eat things with vitamin C in them.
Got to ward off that scurvy.
Yeah.
Word.
Yar.
Yar.
Whereas a lot of other predators, like great cats, wolves, etc., can eat meat and they don't need any vitamin C intake because their bodies can manufacture vitamin C. So that's one of the things about eating like an all meat or nearly all meat diet is that you do put yourself at risk for a lot of health side effects that are bad if you don't cover your bases correctly with other foods. Humans are dependent on a varied diet. Depending on where you are would depend on what your diet would consist of. Quite simply, in Africa, in South America, lots of tubers because there was a lot of tubers around. In Asia and Europe, there were less tubers around, so there were less tubers naturally in the diet. They kind of went to parsnips and potatoes only for tubers, and they aren't even really well, parsnips are tubers, but potatoes aren't.
Parsnips are delightful.
Actually, they are. They're kind of a loss to the diet nowadays because we just don't eat them a lot anymore.
I love them.
So
Sounds like an Iron Chef challenge.
So
Corned beef and cabbage.
yeah, really. I mean, granted, I don't prescribe to this completely because I am a modern human. And sometimes, I just need too much grease for one meal because I do. I want that processed burger. I want that fast food sometimes. I just got to have it. But even when I have meals like that during the day, I always, and this is, and I eat too much food, I will admit this. But the best way for humans to stay healthy is to eat a varied diet that includes meat, vegetables, fruits, and grains. Everything that we're taught to eat on the food pyramid, we need it all. And the proportions of the food pyramid are probably erroneous because of when that was made.
I think they've mixed it up. It's not a pyramid anymore. It's like steps now.
Well,
I think they changed the portions a little bit too.
I know they've updated it. I don't remember the update.
It's hip now.
Yeah.
There's like a little dude walking up the stairs.
I think the bottom line is just don't eat like a friggin' douchebag and just
Well,
hit the gym.
You're not a caveman. You don't know what they ate, clearly.
We are finding out what they ate because we can take
Yeah,
scrapings
but
of
the
their
average, I want to eat a paleo diet
person doesn't know what they're
person
doing.
doesn't, yeah.
And
To be as healthy as possible, eat foods that have not been processed. I'm going to say something that Dustin, I'm sure, is going to rail against just by the sound of it here in a second. Fats, dairy fats, such as butter, are okay. Lard is okay. You just got to watch how much you eat. It is actually being proven more dangerous now to eat substitutes for those than those. You just have to watch how much of them you eat, because a lot of the vegetable oils and other things that we process out of the vegetables, the processed oils that are used as replacements for them are actually not processed correctly by our bodies and will actually cause more harm and more obesity than butter.
Which is way tastier than the fake crap.
Yes.
Which is weird because I'm a big margarine fan.
Are you serious? Okay, I grew up in a house where my mom was very margarine, my dad was very butter. We always had both on the table. And I'm sorry, I always went for the butter.
Well,
I hands down butter tastes better.
Yeah.
Well, what we use now at our that Jen and I both really like.
Can you not believe it's butter?
That.
I can believe it's not butter.
I can't
believe it's not butter. Spray.
They do have Fabio in their commercials,
they do,
though.
Which is awesome, admittedly.
But what we use the Brummel and Brown. It's like it's a yogurt butter combo. It's
but see, that's
still real dairy.
That's still all real dairy.
Right.
I'm all about the organic, hidden, natural valley, whatever. Find it in the hippy dippy section at Freddy's butter that costs way too much but tastes amazing.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah. Now, I don't disagree with anything Mason just said, by the way.
Also, a couple of other things on that same line. If you can find things like grain-fed beef, that is actually better because cows are meant to eat grains, not corn. Well, corn is a grain, technically. But
not just corn.
But they're meant to eat grasses and grains, not just corn diets, and it will actually have it'll be more nutritious meat and also better tasting.
Yeah, it tastes way better.
Or you can get some Kobe beef and know that they got a nice massage before they got put down.
If you can afford the Kobe beef.
Actually, in America, you can't get Kobe beef.
No, you can't. We call it Kobe beef, but it's not.
And it
Food
is
nerds, what?
Yeah, it's actually their ancestors were Kobe cows, but they're not from Japan anymore. They're American cows, and they're not treated the same.
Well, it's like I'm Irish. I've never been there.
I know,
but,
same here.
Yeah.
We just need to automate the massage process,
Just get like little cow-shaped massage chairs. Aww.
Do like little robo rollers that come around their body.
Like a car wash, but
yeah. Just put them up on a conveyor belt and just.
Run them to the slaughter.
I would say they've actually proven that there's a lot of using substitutes for butter and things is bad. Like, okay, Grant, sometimes it can taste good. Like, like using peanut butter to add your fats into bread.
I love peanut butter.
Tastes good because peanut butter is awesome, but if you need to add extra oils, they usually tell you to add like peanut oil or something to it, which you think, oh, that's fine. It's the sound of the same thing as the peanut butter, but it's a different part of the nut or legume technically.
What about coconut oil? Oh, snap! I missed that one.
What?
It was a different part of the nut, and I said that's what she said.
Oh.
While I was asking your opinion on coconut oil, because that is my favorite right now.
I actually haven't heard much about the coconut.
I've heard both sides there.
I know there's huge controversies about it, but I
add it into my smoothies. It's amazing.
It tastes like coconut, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, well, that's amazing.
Hey, Mason. Does your coconuts hang low?
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm running it. Okay. Go.
But yeah, it's
swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The healthiest way to eat is to try to cut out as much processed food as possible. Make sure you eat a varied diet, and yeah, I'm not going to get into the organic debate. Mainly because I know Dustin and I can go rounds on this, or more correctly, Dustin.
Why do you keep bringing me into this?
Well, okay, more correctly, you would be defending your wife's opinion.
Okay, here's my thing on the organic thing. A lot of times they add hormones to stuff. I have a hormonal imbalance. I'm not putting that crap in my body when I've got enough problems dealing with the crap that's already in my body.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the way it's processed or something, but organic food tends to taste better, in my opinion, too.
I'm going to take some. When I see results from double-blind taste tests on you, I will see what you believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's chemicals and shit.
There's a big part of perception in that, and the only way to truly find to get a non-biased opinion is to actually use double-blind taste tests.
I honestly don't. Organic is. We don't buy a whole lot of organic. Organic milk is definitely one that we buy on a regular.
Well, hormone-free milk is generally a good idea.
Yeah, we've been doing that for a while.
But
we do the raw milk, which is tasty.
As far as everything else, we don't do a whole lot of organic around our place. We do like organic cereal bars and stuff like that for Evie, and like there's stuff that would normally be super processed. We tend to buy stuff that's organic, but like if it's just beef from Fred Meyer and stuff like that,
we can't afford organic meat.
Yeah,
but dairy we've gone
frozen
organic just because it is something that's easy to control the hormones going into my body.
Yeah. But yeah, there's, I'm one of the people. I'm okay with GMOs.
We're gonna have to rely on them, I think, at some point as fast as the population's growing.
We already do.
Yeah.
We read a report where they're already trying to make food replicators. I mean,
Did you see
that. Come on.
There's a company that's come up with powdered, like a chemical powdered form of, it's basically eggs, and you just add water to it and it's eggs, and they're trying to replace like 7 billion eggs a year or something ridiculous like that.
That's actually probably good for the general health nutrition of the
It's
world.
probably the same shit that they used in
It probably is, but I'm also the kind
Matrix.
of person that wants chickens because they're awesome.
Well,
so
it's got to be the same shit that they used in the Matrix.
They're
That
cute.
comes out of the fucking valve.
that nasty ass pudding stuff.
Yeah.
It's got proteins and amino acids, everything the body needs. Wow, that was a really bad black guy impression. I apologize.
Yeah. The thing is like
I'm going to hell.
If
I was just going to keep
puts
watching
you over the edge, then you were already screwed.
I
Dude.
know. Not a single giggle from that, and I just like, well, I'm done.
But like, they're like, people try to rail against GMOs because one, they don't really understand what GMOs are or how long ago GMOs started. You remember back when I was talking about broccoli a couple of minutes ago? That's a GMO.
See, my thing with the organic, it's not the GMOs so much as the chemicals that they spray on shit that they don't have on organic stuff. That's why I like it.
Like pesticides and stuff?
Yeah, pesticides and shit.
Actually,
we're going off on a non-Star Trek tangent right now.
But a lot of the organic farming is actually more harmful to the environment in the long run. Requires far more room per kilocalorie, which is what in America we call calories on our food. So like when you see that 2,000 calories per day, it's not 2 kilocalories, it's 2,000 kilocalories per day. But that's semantics.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I like my artificial.
No.
Okay, we have to work on harmonizing that next time. Yeah.
The fact that we did it at the same time was already
pretty
pretty
great.
awesome.
But
Well, we do that a lot.
Doo-doo.
Poop is funny.
but
That's what happens after you eat the
yes,
food
that
we're
happens.
talking
That
about.
happens about.
That's also organic.
But like a lot of the organic fertilizers, a lot of organic pesticides that are used by organic farming are just naturally produced forms of the same chemicals that are
Yeah.
used by commercial farms. By non.
As a consumer,
organic
it makes me
farms.
feel better to see the organic label is basically what it is. I know. It's probably... I grew up eating that shit. I mean...
I do know that the term natural
Oh, that is
is
a lie.
thrown around like
Yeah.
a motherfucker,
Right.
which is it's just not regulated.
And
Yeah.
a lot of companies have started just putting green sticker-shaped labels on their products that don't even say anything about natural or organic because they know people just look for the visual cues.
Right.
Yeah.
But-
Because we're lazy fuckers.
Yeah.
Hi,
but-
human race. How are
Hi.
you?
But yeah,
I love
there's-
you.
Yeah. There's a lot of hype and false information out there about human diets and what we put into our bodies, and if you think about it, like a lot of people try to rail against companies that make GMOs, which I think is funny because if you kill the humans, you kill the people who are going to buy your products and everyone, and it doesn't work that
It's
way.
all a conspiracy with Big Farm because they want to make money off of us. Put on your tinfoil hat and join me.
I saw other reports too. I should watch because I know there's shows like Food Inc. and stuff like that
Yeah. Well,
hammer on down on that, but
the thing is that yes, farming is a business. I mean, people do it nowadays as part of our economy to make money. But unless you're doing something as a hobby, you are probably doing it to make money. Like, I don't go to work because I like going to work. I go to work to make money.
wow, you really hate your job, don't you?
No, actually, I kind of enjoy my job.
Well, then you go to work to have.
Yeah, I kind
But-
of wouldn't mind having
And
a
'cause of
Mason's
the
job.
money.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, like, if I had my druthers, there's other stuff I'd rather be doing than my job.
Well, I agree. But if I mean,
If it was something people would do just for the heck of it, they wouldn't pay us.
Right. So,
Yeah.
but you know,
Economy.
because who knows? Maybe we'll make money on the podcast.
okay, that would be different, though.
That was
But-
the most adorable face I think I've ever seen you make.
That would be
That was like a
but
little
would-
kid
that
on
would-
Christmas.
For advertising opportunities, please send email to feedback@nerdeffect.com
Yes.
or Dustin at nerdeffect.com,
Somehow,
and I will get back to
even
you.
if we did get that,
I've actually been approached already,
viewer
but-
or listener volume, I don't really see us making that much off of advertisements, though.
Shh. But we expand. We're expanding. We're growing.
tell people our numbers.
All right.
But we're expanding. We're growing. It's okay.
We are.
We're only
Quickly.
14 episodes in, dude.
To the 40
That's
people
true.
who listen to our show on the regular, we love you.
Yeah.
Get the word out.
Tell your friends.
Hi, Libby.
So yeah. Anyway, I'm done on my food rant.
And
Okay.
the Tory lady, I don't know who she is, but she's been pretty active lately.
Tori.
Tori.
Yes.
Friend of mine and Mike's from years ago.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, actually, while you were on your rant, Troutman sent me a face invite. Or you didn't know Troutman, did you?
Yeah, I knew Troutman.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so I just got
Oh, it's nice.
some Troutman saying, dude, I haven't seen you forever. And I'm like, oh, hey, dude, I'm in the middle of my podcast, nerdeffect.com. Here you go.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Spread the word
But yeah. So
like a porn star's
Bird,
legs.
bird. Bird's the word.
So long story
No,
short,
nerd.
nerd is the word. Yes. But yeah, long story short,
Nate, include that in the theme song, please.
Probably not.
long story short, eat healthy. Watch your proportions to your food and eat a varied diet. You're golden, and there is no one paleo diet.
And hit the gym once in a while.
And drink lots of water.
Go walking.
Yeah.
Walk 30
Well, you don't have
minutes.
to hit the gym. Just get out and do shit.
Walk
See,
30 minutes a day.
I park out in the middle of the parking lot every day instead of trying to park up close.
Try park at the end of the parking lot.
I did boot camp yesterday. What?
Boom.
Just drop the mic.
Hey, I'm ex-military. I know.
Yeah, I don't think this boot camp was anything like a
So-
real boot camp.
I think after the last 20, 25 minutes, I'm feeling pretty edumacated.
Good.
You did get your
I know.
educated
You got
self.
your education?
It is pretty much that's what it boils down to. Don't eat like an idiot. I mean, obviously,
And it is okay
enjoy your hamburger once in a while.
Would you do me a favor and
It's
tell
good for
Ange
your ego.
not to eat pizza as much as she wants to? Because I feel like
But
That's
what
hard.
if it's
Yeah.
organic?
Okay.
because
Okay, well,
because here's the line I get. It's good for your soul.
I'm not going to disagree.
Dustin
with,
just did a spit take.
Almost
well,
onto
I'm
the
not going to
laptop.
disagree with her on any point about pizza being good for your soul because I'm kind of with her
But
on
it's
that.
not part of a well-balanced diet.
You can make pizza part of well diet.
You can, it's true, but she doesn't like the vegetables on it like I do. She wants the bacon pepperoni pizza.
Okay, it's got bacon.
Bacon's a vegetable
have
in my
to-
book.
Yeah, I'd
Oh,
say
God.
bacon's a vegetable.
Have you seen a picture that's like cocoa beans come from a tree, which is a plant, therefore chocolate is a vegetable?
It is.
Yes.
And
I'm
also,
going to go eat a salad. And by
Sugar.
salad, I mean candy bar.
okay. Well, here's
Made
what
from Twix and Hershey's and
Okay,
Kit Kats.
well, here's the thing. Chocolate partially depends. Okay, first of all, white chocolate is not
I'm sorry.
chocolate.
It doesn't have chocolate in it.
It has no
it's
chocolate.
fat, cocoa fat.
It has cocoa butter, milk, and sugar.
And delicious.
It has. No, it doesn't have any of the delicious. It has no chocolate liquor in it.
It's still delicious.
Whatever.
It's not chocolate, but it tastes good, so it's okay.
I am a fan of very dark chocolates.
I like those too, but
I-
you're making me hungry for chocolate, and I've been really good this week, so let's...
We're
Okay,
making
here's
we're
the
making
thing.
our listeners fat just by talking about it.
Okay, but like if you get like a
food for
really
ears.
like a beautiful, gorgeous, like 77% cocoa chocolate bar. One, they taste awesome. Two,
They're good for your heart.
they're actually they are loaded with a whole bunch of chemically stuff that the human body likes. It does have dopamine, and two,
Gonna get you horny.
no, going to give you the after effect. Actually,
it's more like the happy
it's the
euphoria.
happy afterglow.
Yeah.
Dude, skip all the hard work, go straight to the afterglow. That's what she said.
Gonna make you post coitus.
But there's actually,
Okay, Sheldon.
but yeah, chocolate is
I don't
actually.
think I've ever heard somebody say that word in real life outside of a health class.
But yeah, chocolate is actually pretty darn good for you. Yeah, we put refined sugars and things in it nowadays, but there's a whole lot of really good for our bodies stuff in chocolate
And caffeine,
yeah,
which makes my body happy.
and also a counteracting stimulant. Weirdly enough,
Counteracting the caffeine?
well,
Everything is a lie.
there's like it's another.
The chocolate's a lie.
The chocolate cake?
There is caffeine in chocolate, but there is also another thing that is also weirdly a stimulant. But whereas caffeine, one of its effects is that it increases your heart rate, this stimulant actually lowers your heart rate.
I propose a new
Yeah.
segment to the show.
Food talk?
Mason's Science Corner.
We've
Oh,
been
God.
having Mason's
I don't know
Science
if I can
Corner.
do that on a weekly basis, though.
You have
Just one
been.
little tidbit.
You have been doing it on a weekly
You've been
basis
doing it
all
weekly for like 4 weeks in
along.
a row now.
You just weren't aware of it.
But now I feel
magical.
pressure.
Dustin, why did you have to quantify it? Damn it.
I will retcon that right now if I need to.
Okay, good. I feel no pressure now.
Okay.
So anyway, yes, go ahead. We have
For those of you who really want to hear Mason's Science Corner every week,
Email Mason at
email Mason at
nerdeffect.com.
nerdeffect.com.
Subject line, Mason's Science
So
Corner.
we are going to talk about Star Trek tonight,
Oh,
right?
yeah. We're not here to talk about food.
We do need to do a food episode, though.
I think we should probably eat dinner before we get here, and then it won't be necessary to do a
Just
food.
put like a buffet on the table while we do the show.
I seriously think we should do like a nerdy food episode.
That would be awesome.
Like,
And somehow get Alton Brown to be on here.
No, I don't
that
think
would-
that's going to happen.
I would just be
but-
like, I'm not worthy. I'm not. I would turn into Wayne from Wayne's World.
I'd be like, why are you
Yeah,
here?
he's a magnificent human.
But
Are you lost?
but no, not like you know 'cause we could do some of the science behind it and stuff too. But like you know,
No,
but-
I'm a total food nerd.
but like make different kinds of like nerdy recipes, you know stuff that like foods that nerds like, and like
I thought about a
pun
show like
plays
that
and
for
things
One Up
like
Your
that.
Life. We've been putting recipes and stuff up on. For those of you who don't know, I also have another website called oneupyourlife.com, which is a health and fitness website geared toward the nerd geek gamer.
That I wrote some articles for.
That Nikki and I both did some stuff for, and it has been on hiatus for
indefinitely,
like 6 months now. I really do want to do more with that site. It's just kind of, I'm a father. I only have time for really one thing at a time, and I would rather focus on this than...
I don't even update my personal blog anymore.
I know. And I also have a lot more invested in this than I did on the website, so...
As he looks at his...
Yeah, they look at my mixer and my second
equipment.
set of microphones and all that other stuff.
Which
is
we're hoping you can hear us through.
Which,
yes.
by the way, I didn't spend a fucking dime on.
Thanks, Grandma.
Thanks, Grandma. I love you. It was all birthday.
Does your grandma listen to the podcast?
No.
Oh, because she's delightful.
She is delightful, but thank God she doesn't listen to this. She'd be like, what are you guys talking about? My grandma threatened to sign up on Facebook the other day so she could pay attention to her grandchildren and my Uncle Ray and Aunt Cherry, and I was like, you don't even think about joining Facebook.
My grandma is on Facebook. I haven't received the friend request yet. Thank goodness.
But my grandma's on my friend list, but she has no idea how to use it.
Yeah.
So
see, that's
my grandma's pretty techno savvy. She's been doing like the whole family tree research thing for like over a decade, so she's got computers down pretty pat.
Well, remember how we were talking about Rule 34 stuff earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the last thing I need my grandma, like,
On
Dustin
second
commented on this. Well, what is it?
Click.
Yeah. Well, it's like...
That's what we
It's
call
like,
motivation to learn how to use the different share settings.
Yeah. See, that's one of the things. It's like I add my family to Google Plus. Not that I use Google Plus that much, but because that's like I can sequester them away from everything else.
Yeah. I'm friends with my cousins and one of my aunts on Facebook.
I've got my
that's it.
sister. Because, she's my sister and we get each other.
Yeah.
And I've got two of my cousins who are roughly the same age. They're both between the ages of me and my sister.
Mm-hmm.
So, we all kind of get each other. We're all in that same group. They're okay. But, I have, friend requests for my aunts and stuff on Facebook, and I'm like, no.
I have one aunt that I'm friends with.
I love you.
I will just
You're
pretend
my
I didn't
aunt.
see it.
I'm just going to pretend I missed it. And
Yeah.
I just outed it, but they're not listening to this podcast. And if anyone's listening to it, it's my cousins who are just going to laugh their asses off at that. So it's okay.
Yeah, and Grandma, just in case you do happen to catch the show sometime, monkey tits. But,
Why would you say that to your grandma? Is that
I'm
an inside
offended
joke
for
or are
your
you just
grandmother.
weird?
it's...
Moving
It's
on.
my
No.
grandma.
Yeah, moving on. Star Trek.
You're really going to
Hey, yeah.
transition from monkey tits to Star Trek?
Yes, I am.
I feel like Monkey Tits is a character that Kirk totally would have boned, you guys.
It's true.
Well, if it has tits and legs.
Yeah, exactly. It's Kirk.
Hmm.
And go.
And transitioning
Yes.
We have an email about Star Trek.
to...
Can we do that?
You want to just jump right into the emails and comments?
I'm just trying to get us away from Monkey Tits at this point.
They quit bringing up the monkey tits.
sitting
Yay!
there swinging in your face.
Ah!
Jesus Christ!
Can you turn off his mic on your end? Because that, I feel, would be a wise decision.
Actually, he can. And that makes me sad.
Oh, he's really sad. I'm just kidding, buddy. No
Okay.
more monkeys.
No more monkey tits. Okay,
So-
I'll behave.
So my friend Libby, hi buddy, who cool fact to me, lives in the same town as Lil Bub, the cutest cat in the world. Nobody cares but Mike, I think. Yeah.
I know Lil Bub.
Lil Bub's adorable.
He is adorable.
I am
Isn't that Grumpy
She
Cat?
is a girl.
Well, that's the...
She's got like
the
a
one that
hair lip
doesn't have,
and
like, a
dwarfism, and her tongue's
chin.
always hanging out. She's the cutest freaking
Okay,
cat in the world. And she has a talk show where she's got a little Jimmy Fallon style desk and a little coffee mug next to her, and she interviews people. She had Whoopi Goldberg on. Sorry. Anyways, she emailed in about the Star Treks.
Wait, Lil Bub emailed in?
No, my friend Libby did, but she's pretty cool too. Actually, she's way cool. So hi, Libby. So here's her email. She says, "Nichols, here is my tricky bio for you. I will always have a special place in my heart.
Wow.
Wow, it is hard to read emails on the microphone. For Next Generation, I remember trying to watch it when I got ready for bed as a kid around 1989. I felt like I identified with Data more than any of the other characters. What that says about a 5-year-old girl, I'm not sure. I didn't know Star Trek was a nerdy thing, with quotes around it, until I started public school. So even though I kept up with the series through Voyager, it wasn't something I shared with my friends. Star Trek nearly became a thing of the past for me until my 20s, when by chance I joined might be the geekiest group of belly dancers out there. Thanks to different drummer belly dancers, Star Trek, along with many other nerdy things, is now practically a part of my daily life. I actually had the opportunity to meet Will Wheaton when we were both asked to entertain at Gen Con last year. Libby. I actually have a Doctor Who shirt that Libby got me at Gen Con when she was booth buddies with Will Wheaton, so I have a Doctor Who shirt that was in close proximity to Will Wheaton.
You probably at least sneezed on it, I'm sure.
Right? It's got his cooties somewhere. But yeah, Libby's awesome. Her belly dancing troupe does all these cool things. Like last year they dressed up as the Avengers, so their costumes were Avengers colors. And then this year they actually did a surprise belly dancing, I don't know if they call it a concert. I don't know what they call it. Performance, yeah, for Peter Davison, which is way cool. And she sent me the TARDIS shirt that she wore when they did that. So I also have a shirt that danced for Peter Davison, which is just cool. But yeah, so she's awesome, and Star Trek's awesome, and I don't know what that says about a 5-year-old girl if you identify with Data more than the other characters.
I don't know if this is about any 5-year-old or any one, actually.
Yeah.
Really.
Awesome is, I think, appropriate what it says.
Sure.
It says awesome.
Maybe she just felt like a technological outcast.
Okay, granted, I'm going to be first in line when I can get a socket in my head to plug it directly into my
Data
computer.
was cool. He got the ladies. He
True.
got more ladies than Geordie LaForge did.
He was a
But
giant...
not as many as Riker.
Well, nobody got as many. Well, except
Captain
in
Kirk.
Next Generation, nobody got as many as Riker. Oh, crap.
And I realized I was really far away from my mic for
Yeah.
those last couple of statements.
That's all right. We still heard you. But, all right, well, speaking of Riker... Oh, you must have plugged your iPhone in.
I'm sorry. I can unplug it. Did it mess
No,
things
it's
up?
fine.
Okay. It
Is
was
your
done.
phone named TARDIS?
Tardip.
TARDIS?
Time in relative dimension in iPhone.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
It told you that? That's awesome.
Yeah, it says, don't recognize TARDIP. Do you want to sync your phone?
Yeah, and the I's even lowercase because I'm cool like that.
I know, I saw it. It was pretty funny.
You're welcome. I'm
Eh.
getting judged right now.
Hipster. Anyway,
Hipster!
I was just
Why
checking how
would you
quickly you defend
say
yourself
that?
on that. I don't actually think you're a
I like
hipster.
music that other people like.
by the way,
And I can move my legs in my pants. Yes.
everything is buy one, get one half off at Hot Topic right now, including their Doctor Who stuff. And they have
What?
the exploding TARDIS as a skirt. The whole painting, and then they also have exploding TARDIS t-shirt, and I tried to get Jen to buy them, but she wouldn't do it because we don't have the money.
Yeah, we don't have money
But-
either.
But speaking of Riker, from earlier comment, have you guys seen that spliced together video of how he gets in and out of chairs?
No?
It is amazing because he's freakishly tall. He literally swings his legs over the tops of the chairs and stuff to sit down and stand up.
Okay.
And
Oh.
it's one of those like small subliminal things that you probably don't catch in a normal episode, but once you see the
them
video,
all spliced together.
you cannot unsee it from that point on. Because now we're like second season into TNG, and there was a scene where he had just swung his leg over the top of a chair to sit down to talk to Picard, and then stood up and swung his leg back over the top, and it is hilarious now. I cannot. It is
Okay.
amazing.
I wonder if it's one of those things that like he did in the first episode. They're like, no, keep
going.
doing that. Yeah, see if anyone
see if
notices.
anybody notices. Okay, we do have no emails, but people have been.
No, that was an email just then.
Oh, sorry. Well, to the feedback. Sorry, but thank
He
you.
thinks
For,
That was to
feedback-
my personal email, which
Yeah.
you guys announced on the last podcast.
Yeah.
Nikki@nerdeffect.com.
Yeah, see, Dustin thinks the only one that actually matters is his little feedback account.
Well, it's addressed to everybody.
Sometimes we matter too.
Jesus Christ!
Tiny
Maybe
violin.
you guys should just be happy you have an email address.
Oh, dictator's back.
Yeah.
I love you guys. People have been commenting on the Book of Faces page, which is awesome. Thank you. We will start with the first one we received. We actually got 3. Pardon me. First one comes from Luke McManaman. I hope I pronounce his name like that every time from here on out because it is amazing.
You have that superhero vibe?
Yeah.
It sounded like the SNL announcer guy.
Kind of.
Yeah.
With tonight's host,
Yeah.
Luke McManaman.
D.
You're welcome, Luke. Feel free to cut that out and use it for something.
Make your own ringtone.
The answering machine.
Every time somebody calls him, Luke
You have reached
McManaman.
Luke McManaman. Leave a message.
Oh, Luke, you've become a Nerd Effect meme. Congratulations.
Yay! That's the first step to hosting. Just so you know, that's in Nikki's book of podcasting success. Available in bookstores. Never.
Maybe the Amazon store if you write it.
Oh, the puppies are back.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry.
And Nikki's ADD kicks in.
So from Luke McManaman. As a society, we certainly are failing to reach the humanitarian, social, and economic vision that Star Trek gave to us, which is awesome as it sounds. This is me speaking. As awesome as it sounds is going to be very, very long ways out before we reach anything even remotely close to that.
Mm-hmm.
Technology-wise, however, I think that Star Trek may have been one of the greatest influences for modern science and design. From the PADD device, iPad, he puts in quotes, or not quotes, but parentheses, LaForge's Viber, Google Glass, Visor, sorry. LaForge's Visor, Google Glass.
Viber would be something different.
Yeah, I tried to avoid
That probably exists.
Oh, Lord.
There's lightsaber ones. I saw it on the internet.
That's just a given.
They're really gross.
Call it the Riker.
Oh! And he's back!
And payments can be paid to Nerdist at PayPal.com.
Nerdist?
Did I do it again?
You totally just said Nerdist.
I'm so sorry.
Like they don't have enough money.
Right? I'm giving them ours?
Don't
Damn
give them
it.
our money.
No, Nerd Effect, not... Yeah, anyway. So that's that Facebook post.
To even some of the more subtle architectural designs of the show. We are even in the very early stages of testing the waters of a transporter system. Developing a warp drive would also be necessary to really propel momentum behind some of the planned
by the way,
space
NASA
missions.
is working on.
Yeah,
I love you, NASA.
probably being backed by GE based on all the commercials I've been seeing lately. And I finally saw the one that you
I
were
was just
talking
going to say,
about,
did you
yeah.
finally see that one? Because I love
Yeah.
that one.
Star Trek was one of the first shows to feature multiracial and gendered cast because Lord knows Kirk was going to put his penis in Uhura eventually.
Oh, God. I think they only kissed.
They only
Whatever.
And it was being forced by an alien because that's the only way that censors would let it on the TV
Don't
box.
care. Cameras go off eventually.
Star Trek After Dark?
Bow,
Oh,
chicka,
wow,
bow,
chicka,
bow.
chicka, yeah.
The planet Risa.
Trekking under the sheets.
Oh.
Let's see. The impact on nerd culture is also pretty strong. Hell, they invented the entire language. They invented entire language, Klingon among others.
I have it printed on the front of one of the Star Trek magazines that
Oh,
I brought
Lord.
in today. There's Klingon right there. I don't speak it.
Sadly, I think the optimism of Star Trek is lost in translation in a culture that has been repeatedly lied to, is increasingly cynical, and we just seem to not be getting a return on our investment with our awe of space. Well, thanks for
Aw.
ending it on a sad note there, Luke. I
Oh.
appreciate that. But no, he's right. As far as technology goes, obviously, it's definitely been very influenced. Obviously, there's also the
Cell phone.
cell phone,
Those
which is
sliding
actually.
doors when you walk into the grocery store?
Yeah.
Let's read the next one. It comes from Brian Copel, so that way because it'll follow. It actually kind of follows up on Luke's. So from Brian Copel. I was gonna do that for everybody who wrote in.
Now that you know you can do that voice, you're just not
yes.
going to stop.
Or I could do my Mr. Magoo voice. Yes. Come on, Mr. Magoo.
I know who you're talking about. I'm
The
seeing your
SNL one was cooler, though.
Yeah, and I just want to keep going.
Oh, Brian Copel. Obviously, Star Trek has affected the world's technological advancements to no end. From something as simple as an automatically opening doors to the cell phone, which was based off box communicator. Also, the watches are kind of cool that have been coming out lately. The Samsung watches.
They even show
Galaxy
Star Trek
Gear.
in one of the commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Lots of cool stuff.
They know their
In
audience.
fact, I'm pretty much
Yeah.
with the exception of space travel, I'm pretty sure we're at the point where we've pretty much exceeded the original Star Trek series as far as technology
And
goes.
the phaser weapons, but
And replicators.
that wasn't in the original.
Although we do have... That wasn't?
Nope, that was TNG.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although,
However, Scotsmen still are hiding whiskey in helmets on their shelves, and but some traditions never die. Just saying.
I want somebody to make the comm badges out of the same technology they're making the watches out of, like the Galaxy Gear watch. That would be hot. Be able walking down the street, hit my comm badge on my shoulder.
Or your microphone.
Sorry, Mike.
It's okay, Mike.
I'm self-abusive, okay? Fine.
Just don't ever become a cutter. That's all we ask. Punch yourself.
Went
all you
dark
want,
places.
Well, this took a turn for the dark. Let's go back to Copel's email.
You're going to be a cutter, do it with the batlet?
we even have a comment from one of our very own hosts, Mr. Michael Morgan. He made a pun. The show is back on track.
Wah, wah.
And the last one, you're gonna have to help me out with his last name, but Tim Furry. Furry. Okay, sorry, Tim. We love you. I just don't know how to say your last name.
Kind of like
Actually, he's
Ferengi.
kind of balding, but he keeps a beard, so it's kind of like all his hair ran down his head.
That's not the kind of furry I meant.
No, that would be dragon. So anyway, go ahead.
Furries is another show
No, it's
not.
We're not going to do a Rule 34
with special
show.
guest Eric Peters.
Anyway,
So it's from Tim Furry. Tim Furry.
there you go.
Nomi and I started watching the first season of TNG, and it's pretty awful. You know, the first season was kind of a hard
awful.
watch, but
Yeah.
it picks up in the second pretty well. It's pretty awful, but a fun kind of awful. I think it's the second episode where the alien race of the day is black people.
Yeah, they had like a little bump on their nose, and they wore that 80s, 90s African tribal clothing.
Oh yeah,
and the bunny ears,
and
on
they had to
African
do like
tribal.
and she had to do the death match with Tasha.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
it was interesting. No funny forehead wrinkle like the Star Trek. Wait, hold on. What did I miss here?
Oh, and he's right. They didn't even have a forehead wrinkle.
No funny forehead wrinkle like Star Trek is wont to do.
Want.
It's a word. It's okay.
Yeah, want. It's not won't. It's want. It's
Star Trek is
WONT.
wont to do just black people.
Yeah.
And Tasha Yar has to fight to the death on a jungle gym. There it is. Then there's the episode where Data and Tasha have sex because Data is fully functional.
There's a song. Somebody wrote a song about that. I don't remember where I saw it, but there's a whole song devoted to the fact that Data's fully functional.
Picard pretty much hates Wesley with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns.
Everybody did.
In the first season, yeah. That was kind of his thing. But he becomes his father figure, though.
He does. I like Will Wheaton.
It's not your fault, Will.
No.
It's not your fault, man. In one episode, Wesley is going to be put to death, and you really get the sense that Picard is pissed not so much because he cares for the boy, but because these dirty hippies were screwing around with his crew.
I would love to hear Picard call people dirty hippies.
You are a dirty hippie. Was that close?
No.
Aw.
It was basically your SNL announcer voice, but a little throatier.
With an attempt at a little bit of Scott in there, but no English.
No. It's okay, buddy. You got that SNL announcer voice down pat, so...
You're a dirty hippie.
And when Don Pardo goes, you can take over for him, make like way too much money just to announce people once a week.
I want to be a Price is Right announcer.
Come on down!
Which, by the way, right now is Joey Fatone.
What?
Yeah,
The movie guy?
the guy.
The
from-
Backstreet Boy.
No, the
Oh, the
NSYNC.
Backstreet-
NSYNC, whatever.
guy. Joey Fatone.
I didn't do boy bands.
Yeah, I'm so far out of that loop. I have.
I
no-
love that you guys knew who he was and what he was in, and I
My
didn't.
sister-
And I was a teenage girl during the right period of
So
time.
was my
to-
sister.
Okay.
All right, he's
All
got
right.
an excuse.
What's yours?
I really don't have one. I don't.
He was into boy bands back in the...
Okay.
He's got like a Backstreet Boys shrine in his closet, and he just goes home and he's like, "I'm sorry, you guys."
Nerd
You
effect.
haven't seen that before?
Nerd.
I helped him move it to
Okay.
his new house.
In his Ninja Turtles arcade game, just inside of it.
Jesus Christ.
We just made him faceplant on the microphone. I feel like that's a high five moment. Yeah. Hi, buddy. How's it going?
I was gonna say nerd effect confessional moment, but I say the reason I really know that it's such a horrible excuse, but the reason I can name, well, I may have forgotten some of them, but I can name. I used to be able to name all the members of NSYNC because I got really fucking bored waiting to get my
Justin Timberlake and his backup dancers.
Yeah, basically. Doesn't Joey Fatone have a cooking show now? Isn't he the one that's got a cooking show on like the Live Well network?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Joey Fatone seems to be doing like little bits and piece work
Yeah.
here and there, but he seems like, well, besides Justin Timberlake, he's the only one of like the four remaining members who actually has a career still. I think
How many were there?
there's 5 of them.
Oh.
I take that back. What's his face? I can't remember his name now.
I had
but,
a friend who
but
was so
he's-
into NSYNC, and her name was Stephanie, that she signed her name in Steph with like the little star
Oh, Jesus.
after the N. Yeah.
But one of them hosts the dancing show on MTV. I can't remember. It's like a break dancing competition or dance group competition.
All
I'm
right.
trying to hold mine
Yeah.
back. I'm trying to behave here. I've been really bad tonight. And they're all looking at me. So,
Just
which one was
bad.
it that got found with the? They had to pump his stomach, and they found cum in his stomach, and
Oh, probably
Ah.
Lance Bass.
Ugh, any of them.
that's like the only thing.
Lance Bass was
Ever
the
remember
openly
from
gay one, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
But
I remember that.
That
was
is
a
not
big
Star
story
Trek at
back in the
all.
day.
no, it is not.
How did we
Wow.
get here?
I don't know. Well, it started by apparently making fun of me, but
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was.
Making fun
Okay.
of Dustin. It's a valid
Okay.
segue.
Love you, buddy.
all right. Well, let's go around the table. If let's talk Star Trek. Let's keep it on track here. Now that so we've read the comments, we've heard from the people. What's our earliest Star Trek memory? For me, I can remember watching a few episodes with my mom back in the day, and again, kind of like the comments there, I never thought of it was like a quote unquote nerd thing. I just thought it was kind of cool because it was dudes on TV fighting aliens and cool sciencey stuff was happening, and there's lights and stuff, and space stuff and stuff.
And Space Go-Go.
But and my first like real full memories of Star Trek probably began with Next Generation and probably more specifically when it ran in syndication. It's because it started early enough that I didn't really pay too much attention to it, but it was like later in like junior high school when it ran in syndication on like Fox or something late night. It came on like right before Babylon 5. And that's mostly my most potent memories of anything involving Star Trek. So, anyway, that's my earliest memories of Star Trek. How about you, Mike?
Well, I remember being a kid, watching all of the original Star Trek reruns. I don't think I caught any of the shows like original airing or anything like that. I think it was already overdone with by the time I was watching TV like that. But Next Generation, I pretty much watched it beginning to end. And I mean, not like, every episode I couldn't miss any, oh my god, kind of thing, but, most of the episodes I caught first airing and, went through the whole run of it. Voyager actually is my favorite, though. I've actually been catching up on that all week. So I got, like, let's see, almost made it all the way through season 3, but I had to skip ahead to Scorpion, which is that's the episode where they actually get 7 of 9 start showing up. Yeah.
We know why you skipped to that. It's okay, buddy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. The newer, like the Enterprise ones they did, I caught a couple of them. I just never got into it that much. I'll probably eventually catch up with it on Netflix, you know.
That's right.
And Deep Space Nine, it was Star Trek. I'd watch it, but I never got into it. I don't know. There's something about Deep Space Nine I just really couldn't get into.
I was the exact opposite. I love Deep Space Nine.
Yeah.
I never got into Voyager.
What is wrong with you?
That was
Voyager
just
had
me.
all my elements, man.
It had
He means 7 of 9.
and Janeway. I liked Janeway.
Well, yeah, I loved Janeway. I mean,
And
not even
B'Elanna.
as a sex symbol, just as a character.
She was badass.
Plus the Doctor,
The
the hologram Doctor.
The one where he sings opera.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yep.
Every time I hear that song, I just picture Star Trek now.
I mean, Data was cool and all, but the character development they do with the Doctor really got my attention and really kept me going with it.
He grows a lot more as a character.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got, B'Elanna and Kes and Neelix. Love Neelix.
Neelix is great.
Yeah. And then, of course, 7 and 9 and the
Chakotay.
Borg and, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
Chakotay was cool.
Chakotay's
Had the face
cool.
tattoo. I think that's who Mike Tyson was
Yeah.
emulating, is my theory. Mike Tyson's a Trekkie.
Yep.
Yep.
Mike has exceeded my question. Thank you.
Oh, right. Jason.
My earliest memories are along the lines of Mike, just watching reruns of the original series, and then watching Star Trek. But like, I would watch it, but I wasn't like do or die to ever catch it. Of course, I'm also going to just admit this early on. I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan compared to some other sci-fi series. It's not that I dislike it at all. It's just that it was never like some ultimate series to me. But yeah, I mean, it's like I watched it. I remember watching, the original series, and then in reruns, and then when Next Generation came on, seeing, watching it, most of it, I guess, in the first run, but definitely seen a lot of it in syndication too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't have a fighting chance. I came into this world a Trekkie. My dad used to watch the original series in his basement with his sister when he was a teenager, and he rocked my cradle with reruns playing on the TV. And then when I got older, my memories are of watching Next Generation with him, and it was my favorite show. And my mom to this day does not understand how I could have watched Star Trek and Star Wars and all those shows, and they didn't scare me, but E.T. terrified the crap out of me. She just could not comprehend that. And we would just watch Star Trek together, and it always meant so much to me, watching that with my dad. And then Voyager later on rocked my world. And I'm with Mike. I didn't get Deep Space Nine or Enterprise.
Enterprise
Yeah.
was a neat idea.
It was a good concept. Meh. But yeah, Star Trek's great.
How about this? Now, our intention here is to actually talk about the cultural impact of the franchise known as Star Trek. It spawned, like most of the people here talked about, technology, movie franchises, conventions, the meme known as the Shet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
I love George Takei. He's
George
great.
Takei is like uber popular on his own.
He's hilarious.
He's a cultural phenomenon just up by himself.
yeah,
Especially for being openly gay, and him and his husband now, I guess, have been together for, 25, 30 years?
Something like that.
Something
really
like that.
long ass time. There are not a lot of long-term relationship homosexual couples out there in media, and it's nice to have role models like that.
Neil Patrick Harris and his partner have been together for how long now?
I'm so bad at celebrity trivia. Ange could probably tell you right off the bat.
Okay.
I just know
I've been
they're
thinking-
adorable and do cute Halloween costumes.
They do awesome Halloween
They
costumes.
really do.
I'm thinking it's at least a decade.
Yeah, it's
It would have to be. I mean,
because their kids are like, I want to say like 5-ish.
they done grown up.
Yeah.
And every time you say about the costumes, the first one that always pops into my mind is the Alice in Wonderland one.
Yeah, that one's really great.
Pretty adorable. And the Wizard of Oz one.
Yeah, they just do cute things.
They just do good
But
stuff.
yeah, I would say it's not even like I know you have a special point for yourself for the homosexual couples, but I just like seeing couples that manage to stay together and have good working relationships for a long time. I don't care who it is.
Yeah.
Because like
It
there's
is nice to see, especially in Hollywood.
yeah.
There's not a lot of that.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But it's amazing to just see couples that can last, and I'm like, go, because it just
Oh yeah, when
Yeah.
you see little old people that are still together and still happy, like
yeah.
it makes my day.
Hollywood, where being gay isn't even the weird part.
Yeah, it's being together.
I still find it funny though, because when I was a kid watching Star Trek, I never caught on to the subtleties that he put into the show about Sulu and being gay. But as an adult watching it, you pick up on little things that kind of flag it like, hey, Sulu might be gay. Not necessarily the character even, but, giving homage to the fact that, George is gay. So, like, when you see some of the episodes where they have Sulu's quarters, it's, like, really flamboyant.
I'm gonna have to
And
do a
there's
rewatch.
Yeah.
there's like one episode in particular where he had this little, it's supposed to be like an alien critter, but it's a dog they dressed up.
Well,
Aw.
yeah.
And the way he's holding the dog, and it's like this tiny little, fuzzy toy dog thing, and it's like, just like if like a gay guy was walking down the road with a dog.
Yeah,
Well, how else do you hold a small dog, Mike?
yeah.
Well, I mean,
In your purse with little mesh windows in it.
stereotypical. And they were putting it in the show specifically
It's okay,
because
he's
it's
allowed.
stereotypical.
I know, I'm just giving you hell.
And, yeah, I mean, it's just weird. Because, like, I know I didn't pick up on any of that stuff when I was a kid. And
'cause
then
you
going
weren't looking
back and
for it.
watching some of it, yeah, it's kind of like, and you kind of like know about George, and you're seeing that, and it's kind of like,
Oh
they did
my!
that on purpose. They had to.
Well, I was a part of where I was hoping originally you were going to go with that
All right.
was
I suck.
Only if you ask him nicely.
Oh,
sorry.
and I'm out. What?
But what I was kind of where I was hoping like it was like going back and watching episodes of Star Trek when you're an adult and are more aware of the world than a kid is. Like you can enjoy the show as a kid, and it's just it's space and it's fun and there's aliens and all the stuff that appeals to kids.
Danger
but then
music. Oh,
what?
danger music.
Danger music.
Dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 dun.
But also
Captain Kirk dropkick. And
double fist to the back.
Yes.
I love that meme. It's so great.
Kirk Fu.
But like there's all the cultural stuff people talk about nowadays with Star Trek, about the basically utopian society of the Federation and all, and the basically free energy, the no need to work, everyone can do what they want type stuff. You don't get that as a kid, but when you come back and look at it as an adult, all of those messages are there, and they're apparent to you. And that's one of the things I think makes for good shows in general is that if you can appeal to multiple audiences at once.
Definitely makes for rewatchability.
Yeah.
See, when I was prepping for this show, I didn't watch the series because I knew there was no way.
There's just too much.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so much of it. So what I did was I watched some of the documentaries.
Yeah.
I watched The Captains, and then I watched Trek Nation, which
So
is
did I.
great documentary.
Okay, I didn't like Trek Nation.
Oh, really? I did just because it was interesting to me seeing that didn't understand Star Trek, and
Yeah, well, to me it was like I got that, but he kept going. They kept going back to the jump cuts of him going, "I don't get it," way too often.
Yeah.
And not showing enough about like having the different people, like both the celebrities and the Trekkies, explain it to him. I wanted to see more interviews with the people.
Oh, see, I liked what he did.
Instead of just him going, "I don't get it," over and over again.
I personally really liked it, but I was doing other things at the same time, so maybe that's why it didn't get to me quite as much. But I did not pick up on how political of a show it was as a kid, obviously.
Right.
Because I don't think Voyager was quite as political.
Voyager wasn't.
It really wasn't. It was just like, let's do Star Trek stuff. Space, lasers, aliens. Like, that's what Voyager was, and it was great, and I loved it. But watching people talk about how political the show was and Gene Roddenberry's utopian, ideas, I didn't pick up on any of that, and it made me want to rewatch it. So it's on my list now. I need to go back and rewatch all of the Star Treks.
And it's all on Netflix.
I know, and it's gonna take so long because I just don't sit down and binge watch anymore.
We do, but it's like the reason I don't watch any of the Star Trek series is because it's all been basically explored in my brain already. When there's other shows out there that people say you gotta watch this that I haven't watched yet. Supernatural being one of them. Doctor Who was one of them. Now I've watched it 2.5 times through. So, God, I love that fucking show.
My thing is,
anyway,
off topic.
Episode.
My personal binge watch time is on the weekend when I can watch stuff that I want to watch. Andrew really doesn't like Star Trek. It's not a breaking point for me. It's not a, we don't talk about it. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, Mason here just said he wasn't a big Star Trek fan.
Yeah, but there's
a
difference between not being a fan and being like, I'm not watching that. She does like the movies, the new movies. She likes those a lot, but I think it's because her dad made her watch the original series when she was old enough to realize how campy it was. I think that's part of it.
Well, it wasn't actually campy when it was made, though.
It wasn't, but when
it
she
became
watched
we
it,
consider it campy.
yeah, those zoetropes that they used in the show became exactly that. And I think that's when she watched it, so she just doesn't get it. Which it hurts me in my nerd place. Like, it just, because it's I'm like, but I did ask, I said, can you at least appreciate the technology, the things that they showed before they existed, the vision? She does appreciate that, but I think that was just to get me to stop talking about Star Trek.
I remember.
I would say, well, plus you can always pull you make me watch sports with you. You're watching this.
I've tried that. I'm not the one that gets to hold the remote, though, so it doesn't matter.
Then snag the remote first. Or hide it from her the night before.
She's on disability and doesn't work, so she gets to the remote way before I do.
Or just chloroform her.
Yeah, there's always
that'd be
chloroform.
mean. Yeah.
Just walk up to her.
I want that on a T-shirt. There's always chloroform. That would just be coming soon to the Nerd Effect shirt store. We should just do that. Just get a Cafe Press store and just have
There's
quotes.
always
chloroform. That would get taken
Nerdist
down
episode.
so quickly.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? And then just have like a picture of like a rag and a bottle next to each other.
It'd just be awesome.
That's horrible.
Nerd Effect, episode 14. There's always chloroform.
There's always chloroform. Jesus Christ.
What?
Babysitting 101.
Dating 101.
No.
Oh, that's wrong.
That's nasty.
No chloroform.
No.
Unless you're in We're Alive and there's zombies and you need to drug them so you can trace them.
Oh, they're bringing it back.
Have you guys listened to it yet?
No.
You have to. You really do.
I'll listen to Arrow. Arrowed.
You mean watch?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to it yet.
Do it.
You make time. It's worth it.
Well, I've still got to finish Doctor Who before.
But that's for your eyeballs, not for your ear holes.
I don't have a lot.
You
of
could do
just
both
ears.
at once.
No,
And just put on captions.
That would hurt my brain.
Come on,
I
guys,
don't-
multitask. It's
I
an
don't-
important skill.
If I'm reading something, I can multitask.
Lana Torres could do it.
Basically, be like, wasn't there zombies in this episode of Doctor Who?
Oh, that would be the coolest Doctor Who ever! So right before we came here, I saw this headline pop up that was saying that some scientists are inventing a laser that can blast a hole in space-time. And all I could think was, oh, that's a good way to break the Doctor. That sounds like something he'd go check out.
Sounds like
Yeah.
something that would happen in Star Trek, too.
Yeah, it does.
Well, they've done
Check
multiple
it.
Time travel.
episodes.
Yeah, they have.
Or like when the holodeck goes AWOL and
Starts
Traps
hurting people.
people.
it traps people and creates realities that don't really exist, and they think they've been there for like 20, 30 years, but in reality it's only been like 20 minutes.
Okay, so I used to watch Voyager as I was falling asleep because that was the episodes I would catch would be the reruns on K9 back in the day.
K9, Jesus.
I know, with Rottweiler.
Rottweiler. He's actually DJ11 now.
I know, he does lots of things, and every time I just think, no, you're Rottweiler.
And he
It's okay.
hasn't changed in
No, I'm
like
pretty
15
sure
years,
we've
he
got like
still
a
looks the
data
same.
android situation going on
Yeah.
here. Is he fully functional? But so I had this episode in my head, and it's one of those things where I can't tell if it's real or if it's one of those you fell asleep watching TV and dreamed it kind of things, where they're on the holodeck and it goes bad, and it's sort of like a I can't think of the show right now. Damn it. Where they keep having to like go in time, only they're on the
Groundhog
holodeck.
Day.
No, it's got the guy that actually ended up being the captain on Enterprise in it.
Quantum Leap.
Yeah, sort of a quantum leap situation, but they're on the holodeck and they keep having to resolve situations, and then the holodeck changes to something else. You know, anybody know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, there's kind of an episode of Star Trek like that.
Yeah,
too,
that's what
where-
I'm saying, like on Voyager.
Well, on TNG.
Oh, on TNG.
where, like,
I'm picturing a Voyager situation.
Where LaForge and Data are Sherlock and
That's a
Watson.
great one.
Yeah, and they unfortunately he says create an enemy that has this, they can defeat Data, not Holmes.
Yeah, he puts it on like it's like
so it can access the arch.
it's like playing a game in really hard mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No save points.
Nope. You die here, you're done.
So we're going to make this hollow character artificially intelligent enough to beat Data.
How could this possibly go wrong?
Moriarty.
Man.
It's totally a flawless plan, kind of like bringing a Tribble aboard the ship.
Yeah.
That was my favorite episode as a kid, the part where he opens up the hatch and all the Tribbles just
Fall
avalanche.
It's like, how can you not be happy when a bunch of furballs
I
land
know.
on you? You're like, oh.
We have these toys that we get for
kill
the
them
kitties,
all.
and they're literally little fur balls, and I think it's rabbit fur or something like that, and it's their favorite toys, and River loves them, and we call them their Tribbles, and it just cracks me up because they always manage to lose them under the couch, and you can always tell when Ange moves furniture because all of a sudden there's all these Tribbles in the middle of our living room, and it just cracks me up because it's like they're multiplying, and it just makes my nerd happy.
So have you guys ever seen the Trekkies documentary?
Long time ago.
I didn't
yeah.
get to that one. There's a Trekkies too I saw too.
Yeah, there's a second one out there. I haven't seen that one yet, but I mean the Trekkies documentary is just downright weirdness. Like
I figured that
it's-
was more about the fans, so I didn't get to that one.
It is completely about the fans, and it's about the fans who have basically taken the idea of Star Trek and use it as a way to live.
Like
like-
a religion?
Well,
All hail Kirk.
and there's prophets, Picard and Riker and Janeway.
Oh man.
But no, it's more of like they dress in Federation attire and run around with the idea that
Well,
don't be a douchebag to people, which is
I
nice. But at the same time, it's like, wow.
my
it's-
friend Libby who emailed in did buy a dress the other day because it looked like a TNG uniform. So,
Well, that's not a bad thing, but I'm
No.
just saying. But she's not going to wear that every day.
you don't know Libby. She might.
Okay.
And
Or
I'm
does
pretty
she
sure
take
she
the-
has that philosophy. So, Libby, if you're looking for religion, Trekism is the one for you.
Well, okay. I would like to
The
find
Church,
out
the
what's-
Church of Latter Day Kirk.
Riker's witnesses.
Wait, isn't the planet Risa?
Jesus.
I would like to say that
Scientology would still work. Science.
except for they haven't found Xenu out in the universe.
Because they don't have warp technology yet.
No, but on Star Trek they never found Xenu. So
Yeah,
no.
but... no.
Plus that's Asimovian sci-fi versus Gene Roddenberry sci-fi. So,
Wow.
I like this conversation.
Lost me a long time ago there.
Asimov's amazing.
yeah.
One of my
Then
favorite
he
sci-fi
went
writers.
and wrote
Weird.
Scientology.
Yeah, but
Don't lose bets with Harlan Ellison.
his old stuff's great.
Yes.
I liked him before he was cool. You called me a hipster earlier. I had to.
But like, what's wrong with the philosophy of be nice to people, don't be a douchebag, and living by that philosophy as much as you can?
People's ability to actually live by that philosophy.
Well, if you're striving for it in your everyday life, I mean, okay, wearing the Starfleet uniform all the time, I'm a pretty big fan of stuff, but you would not catch me doing
Is that really that much more extreme than wearing T-shirts with pictures of stuff on it, though? I mean, we kind of wear our own little geek uniform.
There's a
It
difference.
is. It's more extreme,
It's
but
more, it's a lot more extreme.
I mean, we wear our own little geek uniform.
Yeah.
I say as the only one at the table not wearing a nerdy T-shirt today
So here's the thing.
for like the first time all week.
I'm all for letting your geek flag fly.
Yeah.
But we're talking like people who have molded this into their life.
I was just being devil's advocate. Somebody's got to argue for the Trekkies.
Wearing a shirt that looks like a Star Trek uniform once in a while. Hell, we saw the
They have footy
the
pajamas on geek.
footy pajamas and hoodies that look absolutely baller.
They
Like-
do. They look really badass. I am getting the TARDIS footy pajamas when I get my taxes, by the way. Super stoked because they look warmer on the inside. Yeah.
That's what she said.
Well, all people are warmer on the inside if you cut them open and spill their guts out. Like tauntauns.
Temporarily.
Like tauntauns.
Temporarily.
Tauntauns.
That's two different sci-fi
It,
shows.
it takes about 18 hours, then you regulate to the outside temperature around you.
You and your science.
And the bloat flies will find you within an hour.
Maggots
See?
provide protein.
Where was this on the zombie survival episode? Mason's Science Corner. I'm telling
Anyway.
Stop quantifying it. He's gonna do it, but it has to be
you. Retconned
excellent.
unless we get enough people to email it.
You can like spice in a little intro thing and just not tell him. You do
You
edit
realize
the
I can
podcast.
hear you.
No, but if
Mason, take off your headphones.
if I whisper, you can't hear me, right? Isn't that how this works?
No.
Damn it.
So yeah, but anyway.
So send your science questions to mason@nerdeffect.com.
Yes.
It happened on the Facebooks and you answered a question. Libby, ask him a question. A science question.
Oh, this is amazing.
I do human-centric science. I'm an anthropologist. I don't do things like physics and chemistry unless it applies specifically to humans.
But I bet you could figure it out. I bet you have
Just did
resources.
A whole segment on food.
It's human-centric. We eat.
Oh, it is human-centric.
We eat things.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of our primary drives is to eat. It even overrides
True.
sex. The
I'm
only
really
thing
hungry.
it doesn't override is water.
But there was eating and sex.
That's fun.
I think Seinfeld did that one.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. That's like the one episode of Seinfeld I saw.
George Costanza just
He hides a sandwich, I believe.
and his.
Yeah, that was the only one
And
I
he
found
wanted to
funny.
bring TV into it too, though.
That's just way more
Oh,
than...
I was talking about
Yeah.
something a little different.
Oh.
Buzzing.
Duh.
Take that out.
I'm talking like whipped cream and cherries.
Oh,
chocolate
not
syrup.
sub sandwiches
No.
hidden under your pillow.
Jell-O.
Jell-O is disgusting and the worst thing to happen to food.
I'll tell you later. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
that's
No.
that's an off microphone
that's
conversation.
an off mic
Ugh.
conversation.
I don't want to have that conversation.
Actually, you will. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
But it's an off mic conversation.
Sorry,
yeah.
Mike, you have to leave the room. Get it? Get it? See what I did?
Buzz.
Oh,
I need to have a rim shot button.
Yes.
How
we
do you
need to-
not have that lined up already?
I just
Yeah.
need to.
Okay, so anyway.
Or an ooh?
I think Mike had something.
Oh, people were saying words having to do
Well, I
with
was
the topic.
going
I
to
guess.
say, let's get back to the prime directive here.
Ah.
There's so much riffing going on right now. It's amazing. The Nerdist podcast would be happy.
They would.
Those guys are riffers.
So, yeah. But yeah, I don't think trying to live up to the ideal of Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek is a bad thing. Treat people nice. Don't focus on people's differences, but see their differences as interesting and
advantages,
and it could be things that could be advantages. And focus on the fact that we're all more or less the same, and move on. And just be good people. I don't see anything wrong with trying to live up to that philosophy.
It's very Buddhist.
It is very Buddhist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But with technology.
Star Trek's also had many reincarnations.
Oh! That was me hitting the
That was
rim
the
shots.
fartiest rim shot
It
I've
was.
ever heard.
Yeah.
You might want to go check yourself, buddy. That sounded a little damp.
Check my mic.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
He
Mike,
looks
check
okay.
yourself.
Before you wreck yourself. What?
Oh.
I got
So who
saucy.
here watched the documentary of the captains?
I did.
Ow.
All of us, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the tail end of it, and I don't think we're really spoiling anything by talking about this documentary. 'cause
Theoretically, a
it's-
spoiler alert, but come on, people.
It's been on
It's a
Netflix for a
documentary.
gazillion. Yeah, and it's a documentary.
And it's like...
Do documentaries get spoiler alerts?
I'm going to I said it. It's out there.
Like March of the
They've been-
Penguins. I feel like that could have gotten spoiler alerts.
Did they get eaten by seals?
Do they look like they're wearing tuxedos?
Yes. They didn't have happy
Was
feet.
Morgan Freeman's voice awesome?
Is it always?
Yes. So,
See?
okay. Spoiler alert.
I guess it didn't need spoilers. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think Morgan Freeman should play Mace Windu's son in the new Star Wars. Sold.
Or at least do, like, a voiceover part.
Yes.
Except for them, there would be a problem. Because they already have James Earl Jones.
Wrong
in Star Wars.
franchise.
I know, but I just think it would be cool.
Franchise.
They've already got James Earl Jones in Star Wars.
That's what I'm
And-
saying.
Gave me such a hard
Epic
time
voices.
when I went off on Star Wars, and now you're doing it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. So anyway, the captains.
The captains.
All aboard the track train, toot toot.
The last like 10 minutes of that documentary had me tearing up a little bit. Just
I cry at documentaries too, buddy. It's okay.
it was-
I'm not even joking.
it was amazing. Like it was all directed and kind of written and guided by William Shatner, and he just basically goes through and interviews all the different Star Trek captains up into the current incarnation of Chris Pine in the new movies.
I like when they arm wrestled.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
That was really great.
That was fun.
It was very Kirk.
Yeah, it was. It totally was. Because
But-
if Kirk could go back in time and meet his younger self, he'd want to arm wrestle.
Oh, yeah, totally.
But it seemed like the person that he connected with the most on the entire show, and it's hard probably not to connect with the guy, but Patrick Stewart, like
Yeah.
those two sitting in the same room together, I don't even know how any room can contain that much awesome in one spot.
They made a special room with lead-lined walls
But,
and sparkly dust in the ventilation system just to contain the awesome.
But those two talking to each other at any given point in the show was it's like listening to two friggin' they're polar opposites of each other too.
Patrick Stewart's very reserved.
Very reserved,
The
very
Shat
British.
is very not.
Yeah.
but they complement each other that way,
Yeah,
which
they
is
do.
Yeah.
crazy because they love each other and you can tell that they do. The way they talk to each other and the way that they both super embraced the idea of being a captain on Star Trek, which Patrick Stewart hated the first season, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Didn't they have like an intervention where they're like, dude, you gotta lighten up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The
Like
chick who
he
played-
tried to tell them that they needed to take their job seriously, and they were just like, no.
Yeah, Tasha Yar, the chick who
Yeah.
played Tasha Yar, said, "Patrick, you just gotta lighten up and have some fun." And he just looks at her and goes, "We're not here to have fun."
And then
Like,
realized
just-
he was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he says it changes
And he said
his philosophy.
Well, and he said that was probably the most valuable lesson he learned on Star Trek was that because he came from theater
not just
right to
Not
Hollywood
just
theater.
The RSC.
Yeah.
and came directly to Hollywood with no prior experience, so he
Yeah.
didn't really know 100% what he was getting into, and later on he kind of embraced it and he learned that having fun on set because you can do takes and
Yeah.
stuff like that. In fact, last week we played the you guys didn't hear it, but we played the the happy birthday.
I was
Gene
hoping you were going to
Roddenberry
say
video.
that's what you were. Yeah, I
And
love that video.
that Patrick Stewart dances that was
Yeah.
never supposed to be aired. It was never supposed to be like.
If I remember correctly, he didn't even know it was out there.
No.
Yeah, and then he was in an interview.
So I'm
and
sure
like,
somebody
"What
in the
about that?"
control room or something like that said this is going to be gold in the future or something.
Let's
or
make 2 copies.
yeah. So he that's out there, and
For
I highly
someday there
recommend you
will
go out
be
and
an
watch
internet, and this must be on it.
it. And yeah, who's your favorite captain, Mike? Besides Captain Mike.
My favorite captain is Jean-Luc.
Mason?
Picard.
I gotta go with Picard, but Janeway's a close second for me. I really liked Janeway, but Picard's got the nostalgia factor for me, so.
Fucking Picard, man. Yeah, he's my homeboy.
He's a bald, older guy that is just so damn sexy.
And has not aged.
Yeah. I like that
that's
picture.
That's what I'm striving for.
Yeah.
Is it
There you go.
that picture of him out there when they show you know
all the captains.
Well,
that
no,
I
it
know.
was just Picard, and they show him as he was when he was doing Star Trek, and then they show him at what is he 70 now, 70
At
something
least,
now,
Yeah.
and then they show the picture of him how they aged him during Star Trek to age 70 something.
Yeah.
And wow, the people in Star Trek had no faith in Patrick Stewart's genetics because the man doesn't look like he's I mean, you can tell he's a little older, but it's not.
Have you seen the one comparing him aging to Lindsay Lohan aging? Because
Oh,
that
That
is
was
cool.
amazing.
That is.
Oh, yeah.
And it says the
Poor
power
girl.
of Earl Grey or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I
The
got
power
a
of
sample
not-
of in the mail the other day. It is delightful.
You've never
There's
had Earl Grey tea?
No, and I love tea, but I tend to go towards the mint teas and the green teas.
You're an herbal teaist, right?
Yeah, I got a
Is that a term?
sample.
Okay, so
I
you
don't
don't
know.
actually like tea. Got it.
Well, no, I like black tea too, but
Okay.
I tend to go more towards lighter teas. And I got a sample of Earl Grey, and it is my
It
new
is the
favorite
most
thing
awesome
ever.
tea
Yeah.
ever. Yeah.
I understand why he always ordered tea Earl Grey hot.
Yeah.
I tried to do the voice of Dustin the other day, actually.
Oh, great.
And he didn't even hear me do it. Remember? And then I was like, "Oh, you didn't hear my really shitty Patrick
Oh,
Stewart impression."
yeah. I was like, I think I was in a half
Because it
conversation with
didn't
Ariane.
sound
though.
anything like him is also the reason. Turns out I can't sound like Patrick Stewart.
I didn't even catch it there,
Yeah.
so I just
It's because I didn't try because I
Oh.
knew better. Yeah.
tea,
But-
Earl Grey.
Yeah, I
That
think that was the best thing to ever come
was better than
personally for me from Star Trek is the fact that I discovered Earl Grey tea because of Patrick Stewart, and I am thankful for that.
I don't know why I never tried it before now. It is delicious.
I'm gonna have to try it.
The bergamot, it's just black tea with bergamot in it, and it's awesome.
I have a little bit of lavender sugar at my desk, which is just sugar with lavender in
Yeah.
it. It's really nice. I added just a tiny bit of that to it. It made it bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, not going to go off on tea. Let's keep going.
It's related.
Hey, it's related.
Okay.
No,
Well,
Janeway was a coffee person.
Yeah, Janeway was a coffee
What did Kirk
person.
drink? Probably booze. He seems like a martini guy.
Yeah.
He had a bottle of Jack in his desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the stars.
Jack in the
Let's go
captain's
find
chair.
some green three-boobied ladies.
Fuck it.
But,
All of it.
I would say just the best tea I ever had. If I believe they're still operational only as a website though, but Akbar's Teas used to be here down in Hyde Park.
Akbar's tea?
Yeah,
Like Admiral?
Akbar.
I don't know.
Is it a trap?
Actually, it is spelled the same.
Ah!
Now that I remember, now I think about it, it is spelled the same. But they had a tea called Dragon Phoenix Pearl. It was green tea leaves rolled around lavender buds,
Ooh.
and it was the most amazing tasting tea I've ever had.
Lavender is highly underused as a food element.
Yeah.
In sugar, it makes the best cookie, cupcake, whatever additive you've
Yeah.
ever had in your life.
Lavender sugar
Yeah.
cookies.
It's. I made some lemon lavender sugar cupcakes for Angela's birthday one year. It was really, really good.
Don't they have a thing on blood wine too, right, or something like that?
At Akbar's Teas, because
No.
that would mean that it's definitely under reference.
I'm going off drinks of the show.
I did.
Oh, I'm sure there is. Yeah, Cleon blood wine sounds right.
I did see a post that Starbucks now has butterbeer flavored frappuccino things. Oh, you shake your head slowly, but you know you would try one if somebody brought you one.
If somebody brought me one, yeah, I wouldn't go out of my way
I
to
might go
buy
spend
some.
money at Starbucks now because I want to try it. 'Cause Harry Potter.
I want to go to actually want to go to the actual wizarding world of Harry Potter so I can get butterbeer.
I do too.
Yeah.
What the
It's the puppy with
The puppy.
leaf again.
puppy with the leaf has looped back around.
Yeah,
He looks so pleased with himself.
he does. He is.
And
That is a happy puppy.
he's a little golden retriever puppy.
Yeah.
And he's
Doesn't
precious.
Data end up becoming basically a cat lady?
Yes.
Is that why I like Data? Libby, we know why you identified with Data. He too was a cat lady.
He had like 2 or 3 cats like towards the end of the show,
Yeah.
end of the run of the seasons.
I need to
Because I think he
rewatch.
was learning to care and love, like he was trying to connect with his human side a little more. But
Because you know what teaches you to care and love? A critter that doesn't care if you care and love it.
feed it, and it's happy.
You get purrs. Purrs are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cats are pretty demanding at times.
Yeah, but it's not out of love and affection. It's out of they know their superiority to the human race.
Yeah.
Look,
I know.
human.
Yeah. Remember,
It's true.
in Egypt, cats were worshipped as gods.
Oh.
They've never forgotten.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, they remember. They know. Because, I mean, my yoga ball chair got popped today because I wasn't paying attention to the kitty.
Yeah.
Like, it...
You suffer the consequences.
my butt suffered the consequences. It was loud. Thud.
But, yeah. Okay, I got a question. Favorite incarnation of the Enterprise?
Ooh.
For aesthetic value. Or okay, Voyager could be included too. Any of the ships. Any of the main ships.
I love shiny J.J. Abrams Star
Yeah, I
Trek
was gonna
ships.
say I like J.J.
They are
Abrams
just cool.
Enterprise, especially when it hits warp drive and it's like
Lens
that, like,
flared.
trail behind it.
Yeah.
That's pretty badass. Mostly because we have that technology now.
I do really like the new movies.
The new movies are good. Yeah, I'm inclined for Excelsior. I like the design they did for Excelsior. I know, a little off, but
No, that's fine.
He did open it up.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Was that even a primary ship?
The Excelsior? Yeah.
kinda. I mean, you don't see it very often.
If we're going off series, I like Voyager.
Yeah. Say
Borg cubes.
the board
They
cube,
just
really?
don't look very...
I would say mine is actually the
You like
The-
Rubik's too, don't you? Cubes. Yeah.
mine is actually the Enterprise
Ah.
for aesthetic looks. I just think it's the way they did is a really cool looking ship. For CG awesomeness, well, Abrams and lens flare, but
I like the
I like the lens flares. They work in the Star Trek world.
yeah,
They really do. I mean, shit's shiny. There's lights everywhere.
Yeah.
There would be lens flares.
I like the ship that they did in the second Abrams movie that freaking looked like the Enterprise on steroids and it was black and
The big one? That was,
Oh,
that was so cool.
I was like, oh my god, that is amazing.
Like, that's the scariest ship I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. Like, screw the Death Star. That ship was intimidating.
well, the Death Star is just a sphere by itself, not very intimidating.
It looks like you could play a sport with it.
Yeah. However, when you realize it's the size of the frickin' moon,
Less so. That's no moon, Mason.
I know.
It's no moon.
Nope.
Yeah.
I got a Borg in my pocket.
What the
I'm
fuck?
not. I'm not.
I'm not okay with that.
That's. Are you telling the person you're hitting on that resistance is futile?
Are you going
no
to
means no,
Are you
Mike.
you're going to assimilate them?
Rapists, no raping.
Is that like swipe or no swiping?
Yes.
Did you just make a Dora the Explorer joke?
Oh my god!
Did I just get that you made a Dora the Explorer joke?
Yes.
Oh, and which one of us has a toddler? The one not involved in
The one
that.
who watches Sesame Street all the damn
Yeah.
time.
Because Elmo's awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite Star Trek character all time.
Geordie LaForge. I'm sorry. It's, yeah.
We're going clockwise. Go to you. In
I-
other words, I need time to think.
Yeah, I knew that's what that meant.
It's kind of a toss-up. I kind of liked Quark from Deep Space Nine.
He's irritably lovable.
Yeah.
He's constantly being very Ferengi, but at the same time, he's in a mixed culture, and so he's kind of picking up different stuff, and he kind of ends up with a heart by the end of it.
He's kind of the anti-Neelix.
Yeah. Neelix is always lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
But,
The two of them meeting would be hilarious.
I appreciated they would just cancel each other out.
Yeah. They would both just disappear if they entered the same room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was always wanting his
And a tribble would just pop into existence. And that's when
That's how it happened.
I love the fact that he constantly wants latinum in a society that requires really no money.
Yeah.
Well, Ferengi still use money.
I know, but he works on the Deep Space Nine,
Yeah.
which requires none. But he still needs money to trade with the Ferengi, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But and then Picard definitely is up there. Data is awesome. LaForge is. There's so many awesome characters.
I love
Riker's
LaForge
a badass.
just because
like,
I love
Team
the
Beard.
actor and the things
Team
he
Beard.
did. Team Beard. He's got some pretty epic
Facial
beard
hair.
sculpting.
Yeah.
Like his stylist must have worked hard on that. Because I saw a picture of somebody that tried to do the Riker beard. Does not
It's
look
not
good.
hard.
But it does not look good on a normal human.
True. You gotta have the right facial shape.
You
for
really
it
do.
But it's actually not hard to do that beard shaping. You need to practice a little bit, but
But it looks silly on normal people. But
Yeah.
in Star Trek world, it's, whatevs. There's people with crabs on their foreheads.
yeah.
Why not?
Motherfucker Riker.
But what about you, Mike?
It's kind of a loaded question.
You just say 7 of 9 and get it out of the way.
Boobs.
Yeah.
Borg. Boobs.
I mean,
Resistance is futile, Mike.
And as soon as she said that to him in bed, he would nut. All right.
okay,
Gee,
yes,
little gray.
yes, I am all about the soda. But I think as far as like a character I can relate with, I'd have to go with the Doctor.
Oh, God.
Dustin and I went
Wrong
the same
doctor.
place mentally.
Wrong doctor.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? Oh.
Wrong, yeah.
Didn't he end up picking a name towards the end of that run?
You know,
I can't remember what it is, but I think he picked something.
I think he eventually goes with Zimmerman, the name of the guy that created him.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I've seen some episodes where he's going with like Da Vinci and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Then
they
he ends up
even
changing
like
it.
on stuff, they still refer to him as the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wonder if that was a callback to to Doctor Who.
Not everything's a callback to Doctor Who. It should be.
But I mean,
it's-
I mean, considering how old Doctor Who is, I mean, that could be a throwback to sci-fi on his.
I don't think so with Star Trek. I think it was just more of a matter of he didn't have a name, so they just called him.
He was a
the
hologram.
Doctor, because it was a hologram. Yeah.
I'm just trying to
they
be.
just called him the Doctor because emergency medical holograms too long to say under normal circumstances.
It's true.
Call
Yeah.
him
So you just go see the Doctor.
Hey,
Yeah. Mason figured it out yet?
top 10.
Yeah, it's. I'm actually going to go with the new Christopher Pike.
Pike is a cool character.
Yeah,
Like
even though
Pike
he's-
or Pine?
Pike,
Pike.
Not Chris Pine.
The Admiral.
the Admiral.
Okay,
Pike.
yeah, yeah.
Well, Captain Pike initially.
Yeah.
Because of basically how he basically doesn't ever lie to Kirk, but totally manipulates him in the first of the Star Trek movies. Like, and Kirk knows. You can tell Kirk knows he's being manipulated by Pike, but he's like, "Screw it, I'm gonna do it anyway."
I'm getting what I want.
So yeah, but I think his portrayal of it was really good, and giving Pike more of, even though he's now dead, but giving him more of a role in the Star Trek movies, I thought was good. I think because how they kind of set it a little bit before the original series took place, where its starting point was, I think giving Christopher Pike more time was good.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the pilot, okay, I know they had a different captain in the pilot. Wasn't that
It was Pike.
Pike? Okay.
The first pilot was Pike. The second pilot was Kirk.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was trying to remember if it was a
Pike-
different captain with a similar name or if I was going crazy or...
No,
Yeah,
Okay.
Pike
It was
was like
Pike.
injured by the Romulans or something
Yeah.
like that, and had to.
yeah, and then the actor died.
Well,
What?
didn't
What?
they have later though? Didn't he come back for another episode?
Just one.
Okay, that's actually my dad's favorite Star Trek episode because I asked him about this because
It was
he's
like
the one that
it
got me
was
into
like-
Star Trek, and that's
it
his
was
favorite
like
episode.
the first actual run episode.
Yeah,
Oh, we're talking like the.
Well, they had him
I was
in
talking
a
the movie.
wheelchair there
No,
too,
we're
right?
talking OTC.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
did
know if
have
they had him in
a.
a wheelchair. In that
He
one.
did.
Yeah.
He did. And they
It was
went to like
this
an
all-encompassing
illusionary planet or
props up
something.
to-
Oh yeah, and he had the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Are you doing the beard
that-
rub?
He wants to badly, but
I'll do it.
don't
make me do it.
don't.
It sounds
Okay.
like creepy bugs are climbing on your microphone when you do it.
So yeah, but yeah, I would say the new Pike. I know I probably just killed a lot of the Trekkies out there that are listening, but I would say I actually like the J.J. Abrams movies a lot because I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on the show before about how heavy-handed I thought Roddenberry was with his utopian ideals. It's not that I disagree with his ideals, but I think he was
You
too...
try and cram something down somebody's throat, they're not going to want it.
Exactly. And I think the new movies, while they are definitely more action-oriented, still keep to the essence of Roddenberry's vision in a lot of ways, but aren't as forceful with it. You can still see it there, especially as an adult watching it. You can still see
It's a
it.
little more in the background.
But
though.
it's more in the background, more subtle, and more palatable because of it.
The opening scene of the second movie is very down your throaty, but I think they just wanted to make sure that you knew that they're still Prime Directive oriented.
Yes, but that was
showed a not.
I think that was partially to explain that they had the Prime Directive still in the Star Trek universe.
Oh, God, the visuals in that scene where they're just running through that.
Yeah, that was
Red Force. And
Oh, that was done so well.
And the makeup on the aliens, it was just...
Yeah, and the Enterprise rising up out of the water.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
We didn't see that in the theater because we're poor. So we wait until things hit the red box and we find a free code, and then we rent them. And so we watched that on our nice big shiny TV, and it made me happy.
Yeah, it was an amazing scene because
Yeah.
like the water physics were
Pretty colors.
Okay, total
That's
nerdiness.
exactly
the water
what I
physics
said.
were amazing.
That's okay. I used to do. I wanted to get into 3D animation, and
Yeah.
I took a bunch of classes in high school. And animating water in a realistic way is a bitch.
Yeah.
And that was exactly what I said. We're watching this movie and we're getting super into it, and I'm just like, oh my god, the physics that they have in this point. Look at the water go. And Ange just looks at me. She's like, you know, this is a Star Trek movie, right? I'm like, yeah. There's a plot. I'm just like, oh, sorry, water.
Yeah,
But the guy running who did the animation.
Their physics generator so accurate. Yeah.
All right,
Get
well,
that
we're
problem sometimes too.
Yeah.
we are running. Well, we ran out of time a while ago, but
There's a time on this? I thought we just bullshit
we're about 2 hours and 10 minutes
until
into the
Dustin
show.
cuts us off.
yeah, basically.
Man.
Well, we gotta have some point where we're
Yeah.
gonna cut this thing
You need to
off.
make an Albertsons run again, don't you?
No.
No? Okay.
No, he's got to get his
Actually-
butt kicked in Magic the Gathering.
Yeah,
Oh.
we're actually ending the show at a fairly decent time. Looking at the clock.
Yeah, we are.
Oh my god, it's only
Considering-
10:30.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts? Going around the table.
More Star Trek.
Borg tits. I don't.
All right.
We're all
Nothing
talking
else I
about
can
deep,
really-
meaningful
Seven
utopian
of boobs.
societies
I
and
got
seven
the
of
cider
boobs.
fetish. It just, yeah. I mean, that's hitting all cylinders right there. Bam.
Yeah, it's amazing, really, how much of a cultural impact Star Trek has had, and I mean, the fact that it even really, in a lot of ways, goes beyond the nerd community, and beyond Trekkies is, because there's very few people out there who haven't been somewhat exposed to Star Trek. Most people know what warp speed or beam me up, Scotty. Most people get those.
Which he never
references.
actually said.
Right, but that's become, so, I think it's pretty cool that the show has been able to last and endure that long, that it resonates on some level with so many people. Me not as much as some other people, but like I said, I still enjoy it and I still get the ideas and the messages.
You made a very convincing Trekkie this last little bit, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not buying that you don't like it all that much.
I like a lot of the concepts behind it, but the individual episodes, I don't have like if someone else is watching it, I'll sit down and watch it. But like things like Star Trek, Firefly, Babylon 5, I will go out of my way to see again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, That's why. It's a level thing. It's not that I don't appreciate it. It's just
you portray a very convincing Trekkie.
Okay. You will catch me in Jedi robes far before you will catch me in a Star Trek uniform, though.
You should wait till you see those hoodies, though.
Yeah.
I saw them. They are pretty cool. But you also catch me in an N7 hoodie before you will catch me in a Star Trek hoodie. So
noted. The N7 hoodies are badass too.
Well, to completely go in the opposite direction of what Mike said, I have happy childhood memories of Star Trek, and it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and it's just great. Watching Star Trek's like going home. It's just, you know what you're going to get. Everyone's got some sort of nostalgic memory of it, and you see its influence everywhere, like all aspects, science, everything. Can't think of other words right now. I'm tired. I love Star Trek. I want to go watch it all now.
Star Trek is obviously a cultural phenomenon that has stuck around for quite some time. It's had many incarnations, and people know, like Mason said, know exactly what you're talking about when you quote something like the "Beam Me Up, Scotty." I mean, you could talk to the jockiest jock of Jockstown, and
is that a real place?
I hope not.
I bet they're good at sports.
And they would probably understand what you're talking about.
Go Jockstown sports team.
Their mascot, the jockstrap.
Oh, gross.
Or the keg.
But and it's obviously survived up until this point, and you even got old cast members still advocating. Yeah. Even way after their series is over. The original series hasn't aired in forever. The original movies haven't aired since the early 90s.
It's been about 40 years since Rocket Man.
or Leonard Nimoy's Bilbo Baggins.
Oh. I have that CD somewhere. I have that on CD.
It's on YouTube. Go find it.
Bilbo Baggins.
Oh man.
Or Shatner doing Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Go look that one up.
Shatner
please.
doing anything.
Yeah. He finally, I think he actually just recently came out with an album that was actually all original music versus covers.
Oh,
like he usually does. So
I can't say I'm going to go find it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
then you got George Takei, who is like a Facebook, Twitter god right now.
Will Wheaton, even.
Will Wheaton is...
He's the face of nerddom. Him today, really. Face of nerddom.
And Chris Hardwick.
And Chris Hardwick, to, I don't think, as much of an extent, but...
Says you.
Nerd fight! Go! Meow! Wait, no, that's... They're doing the flaily arms thing, and it's kind of freaking me out, because they're really far apart, and that's a really highly ineffective way of fighting across a giant table.
You wanted a nerd fight.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man. Star Trek is just awesome. It's all on Netflix.
I would get into a war of wits with him, but I don't like fighting unarmed opponents.
Oh, shit, you got burned.
Fuck you.
Someone call the burn unit.
Cut him down so low, he need a step ladder to get on the sidewalk.
Whoa.
I'm going to end the show.
This is the Nerd Effect episode number 14, the Star Trek episode, also known as the Burn Dustin episode.
Also known as Mason's Science Corner, the intro.
Oh.
And also known as 7 Up Boobs.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we'll end it here. Star Trek is awesome. Even if you're not even a huge Trekkie fan, it's still awesome.
Everyone's
Go watch
a little
it
bit of a Trekkie.
On Netflix. It's all there, except for maybe some of the newer stuff. But,
except for maybe the J.J. Abrams movies. I think everything else is on Netflix.
I don't know if any of the older movies are on.
Oh, okay. I haven't checked.
I haven't looked.
Honestly, except for the Abrams movies, whenever I think of Star Trek, I just think of the TV shows.
Yeah,
I know the movies are there. I've seen them all, but...
Yeah, I've seen them all, but it's been a really long time.
Yes.
So anyway,
Yeah, sorry.
Uh,
you're trying to stop, and we're just like, no.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Let's talk more Trek.
We didn't even really talk about the movies. We
It's
should go
Trek
back.
Night on that here at the Nerd Effect Podcast.
all right.
Call in with your questions.
Grab your phasers and call on in.
Aw.
It's the Anaheim convention all over again.
Holy shit. Okay. For the Nerd Effect podcast, we have been your
Podcast.
Did I say podcast?
You said podcast.
Well, fuck. Okay.
That's a fucking podcast.
For the Nerd Effect podcast, we have been your pod fleet
Michael Morgan.
Mason, Ireland.
Chief Engineer Prindle.
and Captain Dustin Vancouver. And for those about to nerd, we salute you. Good night, everybody.